Good evening, everyone. Another episode of Saturday Night Sith, episode 12. In fact, we're doing good so far. I gotta say,
episode 12. Yes.
Yeah, I'm
Getting
your
up
host,
there.
one of your hosts, Fractured Filter, along with always Jay Hitman. How's it going, good sir?
I'm so pumped. You know, the last couple of weeks I think the last 2 or 3 shows I've told everybody I'm just in a feisty mood, and it just continues to the mood continues.
Like I say, Disney Star Wars is the gift that keeps on giving, and it's certainly the gift that keeps on giving for us.
I quoted that. I sent out a tweet earlier before the show saying that, to quote my partner in crime, it's the gift that keeps on giving. There's so much. I don't know if this has specifically been planned or if this is just fallen into our laps, but there's so much just utter ridiculousness coming out. It's just amazing. It's really amazing. I had built a vault of articles and things that I just put in to save. To just go over.
I mean, and I certainly try and share everything I can to you, so you get so you can see it and you can get to be able to
real quick
form on it.
Yeah, it's so interesting that there's OG Star Wars who she's very, very knowledgeable. I think I follow her. If I haven't officially followed, then I'm going to start. But it's just interesting, like what she posts, and you have these idiots that try to challenge her, and then they get eviscerated.
There's that aspect between her and Stig. They both are just
Stig
especially. He's more ruthless about it too. But it's really funny. It's really funny watching it because you see there's the two sides of this whole camp or whatever you want to consider it. What's going on? You got people like OG Star Wars and us that are on this side of the true canon, the Lucas canon and stuff like that before the dark times, before Filoni. We want to be dramatic. And then there's just the other side where they are just adamant about EU was never canon. And like that one you showed me of Disney Star Wars is improving it, and it's just like,
oh yeah,
and you just have that where they really are they're just
I said you
sucked into it. I don't know if it was
terrible wrong. I think
exactly, and it's just to them I don't know if this is like their first Star Wars experience with the sequel trilogy, so they're really trying to hang on to this as desperately as possible, or what it is. But it's really funny because like you got just the two warring factions basically, and it's just interesting to watch sometimes because they're all trying to bring their own collected knowledge or what they think is going to be the gotcha moments and stuff like that. But, it doesn't quite work out for them though, because like you say, they just get absolutely just kind of stomped because these are people that have read basically all of the books and have kept some, just the knowledge of it. And I'll always point out, I'm still an amateur when it comes to this stuff. I'm still learning as I go and trying to, I know what I do know, but it's like, I'll be the first to admit I don't know it all.
Oh yeah. No,
but I'm certainly doing my best to try and like get informed better and and know exactly. It's like I know what I know and I know what I don't like.
Yeah. So I think we're both on the same page. We're learning this as we go. I know we may not have all the knowledge, but I mean, we do have quite a bit of it. But so I just want to call out real quick. So just an example of like OG Star Wars and how these just idiots will come out and just try to like pick a fight with her, or I don't follow Stig, but so this is within the Twitter handle and I can send it to you. But basically,
you send it my way.
Yeah, let me see if I can
Then I can bring it up.
Yeah, I'm gonna
just like drop it in the private chat here.
Yeah,
if you can.
Let me see. How do I copy this real quick?
Was this the person she's getting into it with?
Yeah, so Waga
about Yoda and in the training and stuff.
Yeah, Waga, Ruga, Mon, whatever. Hashtag Black Lives Matter, whatever. This ridiculousness. It says training is faith. I've explained this repeatedly.
And okay. Yes, I saw this. Yeah,
did you?
Yeah, I did.
And then she like, and this is why I love her. She's like,
Yoda so his word is gospel over George, the creator of Star Wars.
And then she said, Yoda never stated. This was the training or the Twitter thread. I'm going to try to send it to you, but it says,
"Yeah, I'll pull it up right now."
Not my words, Yoda's. And then she's like, "Just savage." Yoda never stated training is faith. You did, and it's just like. Yes, he did. Training pulled up and
okay. Well, this is the funny thing because I hadn't dipped my toe into this fight because I'm just kind of like, whoa.
I was waiting for. I almost sent it to you to see.
Did I get the right one? Wrong spot. Shoot. Where did this?
See if I can send it to you.
Oh yeah. Because it started with this meme that OG Star Wars posted. Okay, here we go. And then I'll grab it as I'm. Oops, too big. Okay. And then it was the Loga Ruga person. Where was it?
Okay, so I dropped it in the private chat. I don't know if they can they see?
Yeah, let me go off of yours.
Or should I put it in the comments?
There we go.
Can they see?
No, you're good. Yeah, yeah. I got it here.
Okay.
Well, and this is this. Yeah, because it was all off of.
All right. I know this is probably not what we were gonna get the meat and potatoes of it, but I just wanted to call this out because it's so funny that people try to pick they think they know things and then they get called out from not even like from an analytical standpoint, but even an evidential bit. Like, show me where he said this. Well, yes, he said it. Like, okay,
yeah, they tried quoting parts of what Yoda was saying about Luke and trying. He's part. See, this is a funny thing when you watch the film and you watch those scenes in context. There's a reason Luke is running, jumping around, and doing all that. He's conditioning his body. So not only is he conditioning his body, but also, like it is, Yoda's trying to teach and instruct him to see the world in a new way, in a way in which the Force is connected to, and he can try to harness that abilities to be able to, levitate X-wings and crap like that. It's based and like it is, we all know George Lucas is taken I hate to say taken, but uses inspiration very much of Eastern philosophies and stuff like that, and especially of it's just kind of the whole thing of but you got to link body with mind. It's the marriage of the two, and Luke is needing to, he trains his body, but then, Yoda's giving him the knowledge of the Force, of the Jedi and stuff like that to increase his mind and help him, like it is, see things in a new light.
It's interesting though how you can take something out of context and form it to form, into your own, or have that align with your own. It's just so frustrating that you take something out of context to try to prove a point that you believe. Like one of I don't know this guy.
Well, that's the kind of people that I'm talking about. Where they think that it's just that one particular way.
This war sick guy. The last comment. I think, or anyways, he says these people are crazy. They don't engage with actual issues. They keep repeating this BS dogma they've either invented in their head or been told by idiots like Ryan Johnson. I just want to point out that I lost my mind laughing when somebody called him Ruin Johnson.
Yeah, Ruin Johnson.
So now that's how I referred to him as Ruin Johnson.
Ruin Johnson.
I think it was Script Trooper. I think maybe.
Probably.
Just funny, but I just want to point this out because it's just it's comedic, but also like it's so painful to actually to watch, and I guess not watch, but I guess witness and see. And then when they get called out, like, no, prove to me, or like bring me evidence on as to why you believe what you believe. And then this dude, this Logma guy, he just like disappeared. He like Force Ghost went away.
Poof.
Gone. But anyways, I know that wasn't what we were going in.
No, hey, I mean, by all means, I don't mind.
But just look at what she said. So his word is gospel over George Lucas, the creator. Like just pulled no punches.
Yeah, no, I get you're trying to quote exactly from the movies, but sometimes some things are things are filled in later too, because like we've gotten more filled in from the prequel trilogy, and Lucas was always adding more from either giving creative control of writing books to the writers, or just telling them, hey, no, this is what needs to be part of, and include this, include that. And that's where like a lot of people they still try and push the meme of, oh no, the EU wasn't canon, Lucas didn't really care, yada yada yada, when in fact it's quite the opposite. He was involved with it. He did have control and say. I mean, he was the one that like we pulled up in some earlier shows and podcasts. We talked about it where these writers would go to George, give him their notes on what they were planning out, and it was up to him going yes, no, yes, this, no, that's
like, you've got something here, or don't you ever think about
right
posting this don't
let this ever come to your brain again, sort of thing. So
I found something else interesting I'll point out real quick, and then we'll get into the meat and potatoes of it. But this guy, I have to find the Twitter thread and I'll post it in here, but he was like, there is no canon, there's just Star Wars EU. No, I'm sorry, he said there is no Legends, it's just Star Wars EU. And I read it.
That's kind of like saying that the Legends is just no, because that was what Disney labeled the expanded universe. So basically, the expanded universe is the expanded universe. So, although I guess that could also mean that if there's no Legends, then that means the Legend side continuity has no relevancy. The only current expanded universe that counts is Disney's. I don't know. I haven't seen it, so I couldn't. And it's always hard to gauge certain context with tweets.
I've always based off, Legends. I've always gone to Legends. Yeah. And of course, like EU, but to say like, oh, there's no
Legends EU, it all it's all depending on what your vernacular is for. Yeah. I usually try and stick to just the true canon or expanded universe, because like that's what it was.
Yeah, not this dumpster fire.
Yeah, exactly.
The likes of Deborah Chow and all Ruin Johnson and don't give me. Why would you bring up Deborah Chow? Don't ever.
You did. It wasn't me. You brought.
Don't
her
ever
up.
Bring her up again.
You're the one, and we're gonna be bringing her up because she was in the episode for Mandalorian.
I can't do it. All right. What do we have? So what do we have in store for today? I know that was just a little bit.
Well, I thought we would go over the George Lucas, Kathleen Kennedy acceptance milestone thing from the. I wish there was video, like proper video.
The meme you sent me earlier.
You basically. I mean, I scoured bits of YouTube, but I couldn't find anybody with like a posted video.
No. Was it the speech I was telling you about?
The PGA honor from Steven Spielberg and Kathleen Kennedy and George Lucas.
Cringe fest.
Yeah, because let me pull that up right now because I got it ready.
Did you watch the video, or did you find anything?
I couldn't find any video. Like I said, I popped onto YouTube and I tried looking for.
Did I see
George Lucas's speech? But all I got was like older stuff of him.
There was a who posted. I think it was.
I'll try and search again really quick just to see, because The only thing that I ever saw was like people's commentary video on it, and then
No,
open
it's Script
airlock
Trooper. Yeah.
policy had a short on it, but that was again him talking about it. All
I
I
think
saw was a
Script
lot of
Trooper had
people.
one.
All I saw was a lot of people talking about it, but they didn't have
No, the video. I'll
actual
see.
video on it.
Let me see if I think Script Trooper did one, and it was actually, I don't know if he actually recorded it, but it was a recording.
Yeah, he did a video, but I don't think
because
I
I
wish
watched it.
Oh yeah, and before God, that whole thing looked like such a dumpster fire.
What, the whole speech or what?
No, like the little event that was going on. It just looked like, oh my God, this looks, especially when it was like all of them at the dinner tables or
Favreau
whatever.
And
yeah, and I swear it was like the worst timing for anyone to take a picture of all of them.
Yeah,
because let me see if I'm trying to find it too. I'm trying to find that now.
If I was Lucas, I'd be like, sorry, I'm not available. I'm currently watching dumpster fire videos of your new Galactic Star Cruiser experience. Send an award to my house.
It was funny, like people were memeing it hard, but I mean, it was funny because like Lucas seriously looked like he was tapped out.
Oh,
but I mean, like I said, it was just the time. It was just certainly the timing of.
Listen, if you had to stand in a room, let alone a stage with Kathleen Kennedy, you'd be tapped out too.
Oh, absolutely.
Mix that in with her putting her hand on you.
Oh.
I bet you'd rather have a Jawa touch you.
Oh, you know,
I went there.
Maybe I might take the Jawa.
I know your love of Jawas.
Yeah.
Eating an ostrich egg. It was a mudhorn egg. Whatever they were eating.
Whatever, indeed.
Egg. I'm trying to find it on the Twitter because I thought Script Trooper he did a video, or at least he posted one of the George Lucas actually speaking, because I know he said something. He called out. I don't know if it's technically called out, but he said something in regards to Spielberg, because Spielberg was on stage with him, I think.
Yeah, there's a whole. It was like a whole big event. I mean, in like the speech thing was like it was not just him, but Kathleen Kennedy, and then apparently Lucas was, or Spielberg was doing something off screen, basically, from the sounds of it. And this was the thing. I meant to find it. I meant to find this earlier. I just completely forgot about it until now. Is where we were just talking about it all. I should have been a little better prepared for this part of it.
I can try to find.
Because there was a part of the picture too that I'm just like, what the freaking hell is going on? Because it just, like I said, bad timing for the photo or something.
Are you talking about the one where he's sitting down with Favreau and Kennedy's in the
everyone
background?
Yeah, and where some of us learned that Kathleen Kennedy has a twin.
The clone.
I had no idea that she had a twin. I didn't care, but I learned something new. Come on, where the hell?
I'm trying to find it too. But I think, to your point, there's not a lot of videos online about it.
No, unfortunately not. It seems to be. Shoot. Try this page. See if she has it.
I don't know. Did OG Star Wars post anything? I don't know. I don't remember if OG posted anything about it.
I know some people who had, so that's why I'm trying to go to their particular pages to bring up the images.
I'm looking on Script Trooper, but he's been so busy just eviscerating Disney that I'm having to scroll through a lot.
Where's the full picture, though? Well, darn it. So, yeah. Oh, okay, here we go. Okay.
You find it?
I found it. Yeah. Okay. Trying to large, but mainly it's like, okay, you see Lucas over here, and like I said, he looks tapped out. He looks absolutely tapped out. But what stuck out to me the most is this girl right here, right in between the Kennedy twins.
I posted another one too, but I heard
it might be Kathleen Kennedy's daughter. I don't know. I don't know if she's drugged up or what, or like I said, a bad picture taken.
Yeah.
In this moment, because I'm just like, the first thing that stuck out to me was that poor girl. Like either she does not want to be there or something. I don't know if we know it. We know how Hollywood is.
Yeah.
What they get up to. I don't know if she's a victim of that or what the deal is, but good God, that was like the first thing that stuck out to me the most. I'm like, who is this girl and why does she look so messed up?
Yeah.
But yeah,
and George is like, get me out of here.
I mean, that's basically what it seems like, right? He's just like, I'm done. Yeah, somebody has a closer up picture.
I don't know if you get the one I posted.
Yeah, that Star Wars girl. Yeah. That was it. That's the one I found it on.
Oh, okay.
Like, it's just like, man, I am done. Why am I?
Yeah.
I want to go home. Yeah. So I wish I could have found some of the video of the actual speech, but like nobody's posted it, nobody's shared it, nothing. It's kind of crazy.
I thought that I had, like, I watched it and I could have sworn it was Script Trooper that had originally posted it, but I also followed quite a few. I don't know if it was.
Oh, they do. Oh, I'm retarded. They do apparently have a YouTube channel for this whole
speech
event. Well, the event, yeah, they have like, and I'm now trying to find that. Producers Guild of America. YouTube channel. Okay, let's see if it's on there. Oh. Nominees for outstanding producers. Oh, this is them basically doing what we're doing, just chatting about it. God dang it.
Oh, is it no videos?
It's just, like I said, it's just basically them doing a live conference sort of thing. And not actually at the, they only have like clips of the event on this page.
Somebody posted that picture and then he's like, Attack of the Clones, ...
Yeah. Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah, I wish that I'm shocked that nobody managed to have.
I wonder if somehow Disney like was able to take it down. They got wind.
I don't know, take it down or just I mean, considering Lucas didn't say anything all that, if I understand, offensive or anything like that.
Man, because it was like he specifically, I remember watching George was, is this it? Hold on. I don't know if this is the video.
Yeah. always there are no more, no less, a master and an apprentice. That was the Script Trooper one. Nice.
Yeah. I'm trying to find, I think maybe I found the video. Possibly. Hold on.
Yeah, like I said, I'm just shocked that it's not out there anywhere, it seems.
I wonder if they took it down. I'm wondering. I thought I found it, but they probably did what Disney did after releasing their video, the trailer for Galaxy Star Cruiser.
Maybe
they took it down.
Well, unfortunately, then I guess we'll just have to do with this article.
That's fine.
Let me close that out. Whoosh, go away. And now we'll share. Okay, here we go. Yeah, George Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy accept milestone PGA honor from Steven Spielberg. A producer never works alone. Quotes. And then the duo accepted the milestone award from their frequent collaborator at Saturday's 33rd Producers Guild Awards. At Saturday's 33rd Annual Producers Guild Awards, Steven Spielberg presented the 2022 milestone award to Lucasfilm leaders George Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy. Lucas created the production company in the 1970s, and it's best known for spawning the hit franchises Star Wars and Indiana Jones. Introducing the pair, longtime collaborator Steven Spielberg, who has worked with both Lucas and Kennedy for decades, said, quote, "I feel even in this room, we need to define what producers do. Producers do whatever the hell it takes. Courage and imagination and utter lack of intimidation. The producer needs to know everybody's job and not how to do them, but how they are done well, which is what makes George and Kathy so deserving of this recognition." He concluded his introduction by noting, "These two titans are still just like kids playing in a sandbox. So it is 1 + 1 = 175. That's the number of projects they have together and apart. 175. Because their singular talents combined are all in the pursuit of creating new stories that have enriched the art form, driven our culture forward, and inspired new generations to tell their own stories. They are and always will be the force to be reckoned with." Wait, was that George? No, that was Spielberg talking. I thought. Now it's going into. Okay, so I guess. In her acceptance speech, Kennedy noted she met Spielberg and Lucas at the dawning of a new age, quotes, for the film industry. Quote, "We worked side by side through one revolution in our industry after another. Revolutions not only in the means of movie making and in the ways movies reach audiences, but also in the composition of our business," she said. "As women, artists of color, LGBTQ, ARP, and differently labeled artists and producers who have fought for and won a place at the table, propelling our community toward a more inclusive, diverse, richer, more sophisticated and nuanced sense of our responsibilities for social, racial, and economic justice. There's no one that I would rather share this moment with more than my friend, my mentor, and the greatest master Jedi of them all, George."
I threw up.
A little. You see where all the pandering and all the nonsense comes. Why it's so shoehorned into things like the current Star Wars, and I mean, like, so many
Tell
people.
me what you just read. Tell me that there's not an agenda. She doesn't have an agenda,
Right? No, it's all. I mean, hey, the one thing that I can at least sometimes appreciate is when they at least get honest and they at least tell you exactly the plans, exactly what they want to do.
Yeah.
And you know, like many people have reiterated again and again and again, it's rather funny that she talks about propping up, you know, women and then also diversity and inclusive and blah blah blah, and yet you still fired Gina Carano
I was just going to say, how did that work out for Gina Carano?
For having a difference of an opinion. Meanwhile, you have people, you know, like who was it again? Pablo Hidalgo.
Pablo.
Pascal. I forget.
Pascal? Pablo, whatever his name.
One of those Pablos.
Yeah, one of the two.
That are just completely on board with the message. You know, it's the typical hypocrisy that we see.
But there's no hidden agenda. Hey, there's no hidden agenda. They've told you that.
At least like I said, at least we know. You know.
Yeah.
I mean, but you know, Kennedy came out from the get-go when they got their meaty freaking paws in the Star Wars. What did we end up seeing? Oh, them running around with shirts that say "The Force is female." Piss off.
Yeah.
Anyway, Lucas thanked his former mentor, Francis Ford Coppola, before giving an impassioned speech about a producer's role in filmmaking. Quote, to me, that's the first and foremost job of a producer, which is to do the impossible. And you do it every single day. And then every single day, something comes along to destroy everything you've done.
Kathleen, was that a shot at Kennedy, do you think?
You'd almost think so, right?
Hey, I'm just asking the question. I could be wrong. It sounds like a shot to me.
And you have to pick it all up at lunch and figure out a new way to finish the movie in conjunction with the director. And it's daunting to say the least. But a producer never works alone. You have to have a great crew. I've always had the best crews. He said, I couldn't have done it without them. And so I think my job also is to gather them all together and inspire them to be the best they can be. Now, you see, there's more of a better speech coming out of Lucas where he's not trying to shovel a message. He's talking about the crew. He's talking, it's not just him that gets this shit done.
Yeah.
But it's the collaborative efforts of everyone there.
He's humble. He's put the focus on where it needs to be: the crew, the people, the workers that are the team that are helping achieve the goal that he set forth to try to achieve. Like the vision he had in his head to bring it into the movies. They were a part of that. It wasn't about like, oh well, we're just gonna, this whole pandering to LGBTQ and forces female and women's right and all this stuff.
Yeah,
that,
but it's just boiling it down to it's the people.
So
it's not the special representation. It's not this yada yada. It's just it's everyone's in it. Everyone's in it to win it, to get this done, to get their projects done, whatever it may be, to help out in whatever ways they can. Boom, done, perfect. And he takes a little laugh in there too.
Yeah. George at his finest.
Right. So then it concludes. The milestone award comes as Lucasfilm celebrates its 50th anniversary. Kennedy, the company's president, go die, bitch. I didn't say it. In Minecraft. Also created Emblem Entertainment with Spielberg and Frank Marshall, and worked on films such as E.T., The Extraterrestrials, Schindler's List, Jurassic Park, and the Back to the Future films. Okay, little side note. And this is the thing that always kind of gets my goat whenever it comes to especially talking about Back to the Future. It's one of those movies that I love to death. Has been my favorite for a very long time. But what pisses me off is how somehow freaking Spielberg always gets credit for this goddamn movie when all he was a producer or whatever on it. And I know that they're already kind of concluding. The producers have their own management and the way they do things. And yet it's like, the director Robert Zemeckis and who wrote it with Bob Gale, they get like almost overshadowed completely, and it always annoys. It always annoys the ever loving piss out of me. Yeah, because I'm like, no, Spielberg. Yeah, he may have like produced, helped out, funding, whatever, but I mean, it was the part work of these two guys that had this vision for a movie. And then developed it into a trilogy that I love to this day. And it's like, no, you can chill out on the Spielberg love. He gets enough credit as it is, okay? Yeah. Chill it out. So anyway, that's my little sidebar on that. That's been something that has gotten my goat for the longest time.
But I think you're 100% sure. I think you're 100% correct on that. I think Spielberg.
Yeah, because I've seen like some people's YouTube videos and stuff like that when they do like retrospectives. It's like talks almost. I mean, for some of them it's about mentioning both the Robert Zemeckis and Bob Gale, but then like I say, for some it's like Spielberg. No, knock it off. Anyways, back to the article. Lucas is known for directing Star Wars films as well as creating the Lucasfilm empire and producing for other great directors, including Coppola, Spielberg, and Akira Kurosawa. Yes, the PGA Awards were postponed from their original date of February 26th due to the ongoing COVID-19 concerns. Check out full list of night's winners here. This was the only one I cared about. So yeah, that was the little speech that we got out of Spielberg, or not Spielberg, but Lucas and Kathleen Kennedy. And some people wonder what's going on and why. Why?
Is she still the president?
They said it right here in the article. She's still the president.
That's what you. Yeah. So I know that.
I know it's well past October that she was supposed to be gone. I know that she was supposed to be gone in October of last year, but here she still is.
Like, is she like?
Oh,
is she like?
God.
You know,
she's gonna be there till
she dies.
Till the world's blown up or something. I don't know.
Like I thought she was taking the back seat. She said, I mean, there's all these things that I heard. That she was going to be less involved, and that's why I think you and I were jumping for joy because we thought that she was finally going to go. I've
never gotten sucked into that. I'm like, I'll wait to see it to believe it because I'm not getting my hopes up on anything, and even then, it'll all depend on who she's then replaced by.
Probably someone worse.
Either somebody worse or just as bad.
Ruin Johnson.
I think we found somebody worse.
Ruin? I don't know, man. They're both. I mean, when your nickname's Ruin,
at least among our crowd, yeah. So shall we then jump into the idea that Vader is not totally fully formed?
Oh my! Is this the article that Deborah Chow wrote?
That she wrote?
No. Well, no. Sorry, not wrote, but this was the interview that she. Is this the article based off the interview with Deborah Chow in it?
I think so. At least this is the one we tagged each other in.
Oh gosh.
Yeah. So Obi-Wan Kenobi director teases new version of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
10 years after Revenge of the Sith, and he's still trying to figure his shit out. Apparently. One of the most anticipated Star Wars projects in a long time is just around the corner. Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sure, the Book of Boba Fett was exciting sometimes.
When?
But the discourse around Ewan McGregor's return is immense. For years, audiences have been wanting to see Ewan McGregor return to his iconic role, and all it took for these dreams to come true was a streaming service. Yeah, this has been kind of the funny thing because I know that, I think either before the Disney takeover or even the first beginnings of it, there was a lot of rumblings and but then it was mostly just like rumors and stuff like that of, there was going to be like an Obi-Wan Kenobi show, a Yoda show, and Boba Fett show, which I think turned into the Mandalorian, but then we ended up getting the Book of Boba Fett. But I remember a lot of but there's mainly a lot of buzz around the Kenobi stuff because it's like, hey, we've got him. Let's he's still young, he's in shape. Let's do a show. And I don't know if the Kenobi book had been written yet. I don't know. I'd have to check.
Was it early 2000? It was late 2000s. I thought it was written. Maybe,
yeah. But again,
no, I think
I don't know.
No, it was done before the takeover. Well, now I'm gonna look it up because I'm curious.
Well, I know the Kenobi book, was released under Lucas's era. So
yeah,
but yeah, again, I'll always say that was a great template for a good in between of Kenobi being on Tatooine and trying to get acclimated to everything.
Right.
The template was there. It was all there, and you had an interaction. Yeah, there was enough meat on the bone that they could have gone with, and it would have been fantastic to actually see that in live action. But
they go with this, but then they go with this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try to find the Twitter thread, because Script Trooper, I think I tagged you, and he did a really good video about the Kenobi series and his thoughts on it. I think what he was saying lines up to pretty much what you and I think of it, and
we've already talked about. It's gonna be just a lot of key jangling nostalgia bait, and
here's my problem, and here's my issue with this. So well, why don't you go read through the article, and then we'll give our thoughts, because I'll be better from a context perspective.
All right. What fans should expect going into the 6th episode? 6 episodes. Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Based on the first trailer, the former Jedi Knight will be busy watching over Luke Skywalker. That is, until the Inquisitors arrive. Given their task of hunting down and any remaining Force users, they'll undoubtedly come into conflict with Kenobi. But there's also another character that will be making their presence known in a big way: Darth Vader. Hayden Christensen will be returning to his original role as Anakin Skywalker, but this time he'll get to don the iconic costume. And the questions we still have are, will he actually keep the helmet on the whole time? It would be hard to have a show like Obi-Wan Kenobi exist without Darth Vader showing up. A book did it fantastically. Given their close and tragic bond from previous films, when it comes to the iconic heavy-breathing Sith, what can audiences expect? All right. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Obi-Wan Kenobi director Deborah Chow teased what fans can expect with Darth Vader's return in the upcoming Disney Plus series. The director revealed that she brought Vader back for the series because it was, quote, quite hard to avoid. The character, when plotting the story and how the team aimed to find an adversary, quote, who means something, unquote, to the titular character. So here's the her full quote on this. Honestly, for me, the starting place was that I really wanted to do something that was character-based and character-driven, because that is the benefit of the limited series. That is the benefit of the limited series, is that you have more time to sort of tell a real character story. And so for me, the starting place of character is you just start and you look at who has been important to him in his life. And it's quite hard to avoid Anakin Vader in that scenario, especially coming out of Revenge of the Sith. So really, it came out of an evolution of the character for me. It wasn't just to sort of bring him back. It was really like, who means something, and where are we at this point in the timeline with Vader? With the return of Anakin Skywalker's Sith persona comes the return of the actor behind him, Hayden Christensen. Chow mentioned how he's absolutely wonderful, and because he has lived for so long with the character, he was helpful on the creative side as well. Her quotes on this: he's lovely, and he's absolutely wonderful, and Canadian. So the first time I met him actually was in Toronto, and it was really nice because we sort of met up in Canada, and obviously both with people like Ewan and Hayden. They've been these characters for so long, and they obviously did them in the prequels, and they've lived with this character in their lives for so long that they just know the character so well, which makes it so helpful in terms of the creative. Wasn't there an interview too with Ewan McGregor, and he was saying how she knew so much more about the characters and stuff like that?
Uh,
I could be wrong, but I could have sworn there's something like that out there.
I've read a few articles. I think I've read like 2 or 3 articles about. Well, maybe 2. I thought there was an article or interview. I thought.
Yeah. So we're getting a lot of interesting
Very
commentary.
interesting.
Anyway, continuing on, she continued to say how when Vader first showed up on set, it was really interesting moment for her, especially how it showcased different generations and how they connect to Star Wars. Obviously, Hayden was going to be part of this series, and when he first came on to set for us, it definitely had a very special feeling, and it was a really interesting moment for me because you really started to see the different generations and how they connect to Star Wars and the franchise, where you have a generation that grew up with the prequels first and with Hayden. It's a totally different thing for them than a generation that grew up with the originals. And then there's younger generations with the new ones. So it felt really special bringing him back. And obviously, I'm Canadian, he's Canadian, so that was also very heartwarming for me. We were having some Canadian pride on that day. It, Chow noted how working with Christensen was, quote, pretty significant, especially since the character is almost part of our consciousness. Uh, quote, but I know that for Vader, it's something that it's almost part of our consciousness because we've all had it in our lives for so long that to actually see him on set, it's pretty sort of significant. It's kind of moving. As for what kind of Vader audience we will see in the upcoming Disney Plus series, the director revealed that for us, it's very similar to Obi-Wan in the sense that he's in between these two trilogies. So he isn't the New Hope Vader quite yet. You know what I mean? So we are with the character sort of in the middle of this period. It is still Vader, obviously, but it's a Vader that isn't quite as fully formed as a New Hope. Obi-Wan
What does
Kenobi.
that mean?
It's basically like he. The only thing I could maybe ascertain from it is that he's not 100% either adapted to the body that he's in, or he's not fully, I don't know, embraced to the dark side or something, or he's still this is where they're gonna try and take the language of A New Hope and try and use it to be in retrospective of this. That because he, like you said, when we last met, I was the apprentice, but now I am the master, sort of.
Yeah,
stuff.
right. It's like
I think that's what they're trying. I think that's what they're gonna be trying to go. Oh no, see, this is what we're doing. But when in actuality, it's more in reflective of when they fought on Mustafar and had that encounter and everything. So yes, that would have been true.
Well, oh god. Okay, is there any more? I can't remember if there's any more.
So it's going into the whole. Now we're talking about it's the Obi-Wan Kenobi gets a rematch. It's ironic that back when the prequel trilogy was released, and even for a bit afterward, Hayden Christensen's role and performance were far from praised. Now his return is one of the most exciting events currently happening for the franchise. There are certainly massive expectations for the moment Obi-Wan expectations for the moment Obi-Wan comes face to face with Anakin's Vader. Hopefully that crushing weight hasn't flattened the creatives working on the series. At least based on previous rumors, fans can expect at least two different fights between the two legendary characters. Fingers crossed that the writers have found a way to have Christensen's face seen. So what they're going to probably do, and I've heard people already talk about this one, is what they're going to probably do is try and have that face crack,
like on the
that they copied in Rebels, but what had also been done earlier in the comics from Dark Horse.
Yeah.
So, because Filoni can't keep his own shit straight or want to create anything for himself. Fingers crossed that the writers have found a way to have Christensen's face seen. Okay, whoops, going back over that. Otherwise, having the actor return may feel a little pointless. Obi-Wan Kenobi isn't the only place where Christensen is set to make an appearance. It was previously reported that the actor would be reprising his role in an unconfirmed capacity for the upcoming Ahsoka series. Many people are excited about more Obi-Wan and Anakin scenes, but the first live-action scene of Ahsoka meeting her former master could easily garner the same passionate response.
You spelled boyfriend wrong.
No. Oh,
Is there any more of this dog water?
No, that was
article?
That was it for that article. That was
so. What are your thoughts, and then I'll give mine because I have a lot.
I don't know where to. I mean, no. I mean, this is 10 years down the line. He would have had either grueling sessions training under Sidious, and he already had plenty of time to adapt himself to either the mechanical limbs. I mean, look at it. He lost the freaking arm or hand, whatever, in Attack of the Clones, and boom. Between that and then, he's right back up fighting, using it like no problem.
Right. So I guess dig into like what they mean by adapting, or what do they mean?
It's like he's not as powerful as he's supposed to be at New Hope, but so then that just means he's gonna get another ass kicking or something. Otherwise, it's still. No, I mean, if anything, that.
So what do you mean, like 2 meetings? Do you think that they're gonna do like 2 separate fight scenes?
They might. I mean, they might have like a first quick one-off, like, oh, they just suddenly met back up. Oh my God, it's you, sort of thing. They maybe clash really quick, but it's in the middle of Obi-Wan retreating somewhere, and then later, maybe like for the finale, that's where the big fight happens.
Where Death Star is not the Death Star.
No, it can't be the Death Star, because then Obi-Wan will be like, "Oh yeah, I know all about that shit."
So,
no.
So what will be the time frame? What's the time frame from when they meet to when they have their iconic duel on the Death Star?
So it'd be about another 15 years, give it 10, 15 years between this point in time to A New Hope.
But that in itself, and I could be wrong, maybe I'm just stupid and understand it wrong, but so the iconic line is, I've been waiting for you, Obi-Wan. The circle's now complete. When I left you, I was but the learner. Now I am the master. Right?
Yeah.
So when you watch that scene in A New Hope and you hear that line, in my mind, if you know the story and you've watched the prequels, that leads you to believe that he was referencing the final Mustafar, correct or no?
To my assumption and from what I know, yes, it's meant to be from Lucas's own intentions. Mustafar, A New Hope was the was the last time they saw each other versus then the next time they see each other, and boom.
So now is Disney or Deborah Chow, whatever's going on in her head, she's like, well, no, that line, Vader's not referencing Mustafar. He's just referencing the last time that they met.
That's what I said. That's what I said when they're trying to make this now the new focal point of when the way that dialogue could quote unquote work is that Vader is still essentially, but again,
okay, but let me bring up this question.
This still messes with so much of their own canon. This still messes with so much of their own stuff.
But let me ask you this: so the Last Jedi books that you and I are reading, that were OG Star Wars, is she the one?
Yeah, she was the one that recommended.
So I just finished the first book, right?
Yeah.
So amazing book. If you haven't read it, 12 out of 10. What? Let me ask you this question: what time frame is that? That's just right after Order 66?
This is. I mean, I would say that. I mean, for these books, it's probably maybe 2-3 years, 4 years.
So let me
give or take, because I mean, because in the first bit of the book, when he's stalking the Lars homestead, when he's looking at Luke, the way he's talking is like he's still kind of a toddler.
Right.
So it'd have to be like a couple years, give or take, maybe.
You're reading the book, so is it safe to say that you feel like Obi-Wan is somewhat like he's he's still obviously wrestling with it, but it's like he's
in the very beginning. I mean, yeah, it comes off as like what he's trying to figure out is how he can begin his training, and he's frustrated because Qui-Gon. And this is the funny thing.
But he's accepted the fact that this has happened.
Yeah,
and he's trying to move on.
Right, and he's just trying to,
so
just come to terms.
Yeah. So therefore, you tell me. So Obi-Wan is like he's. And this is my interpretation of the book. Like he's trying to figure out this training. He's still obviously hurt from Order 66 with all his friends, Anakin, but he's trying to start figure out where he goes from here. You're telling me it takes Vader 10 years? Like this is 3 years.
Yeah, it takes Vader 10 years. It takes Obi-Wan 10 years apparently, and I guess this is gonna be like their moment of closure for both of them. I guess
You tell me that Obi-Wan, though, like I said, he's finding his way, but it takes Vader 10 years, and these books are canon, they are legends.
Yeah.
So it just doesn't make any sense. Why does it take 10 years?
See, that's what gets me too.
Then,
I'm like,
and this is what irritates me, and I hope, and I think you agree. You are now undermining, not only the fight on Mustafar, but Vader's character, Luke's character. Like you now, like if you go this route, you are pissing on everything, because now the fight doesn't matter. The fight on Mustafar means nothing.
I mean, it certainly
I could be
loses.
Wrong. Maybe I am.
I think it does lose its good bit of importance, and then it even kind of works to diminish a bit of the importance of their meeting on the Death Star and what that's supposed to represent.
Yeah, it's the same.
From
it's
again, the dialogue
argument.
alone. It's all about them kind of meeting again after all this time, and it's like and this is where we would have to figure out the timelines. But even Vader to Tarkin says, he says, I feel something, a presence that I've not felt in some time.
I felt, and then he walks away.
And even, this is the thing. If you got Obi-Wan getting interactions with any level of Imperials, I mean, how is it that Grand Moff Tarkin doesn't know that Obi-Wan is still alive?
Right, because he's like, it
would have been understandable with the original true canon that there was none of this interaction, and then 20 years down the line, Tarkin's like, what? Kenobi? He's still alive? Who would have thought?
Yeah, surely he's dead by now.
Right.
It's the same argument that you can make with them wanting to bring back Windu, and this was never officially stated by Disney, but it's a rumor mill, right? Samuel Jackson was like, "I'm ready to come back," so
he wants to come back.
Yeah, you bringing back Windu undermines what Palpatine did in his office, destroying you know what I mean? And
it just craps all over that.
It does, and I don't understand. Like, I'd love to set up a probe and put it inside her head and see, like, what she... It just irritates me because you have so many great books. Like, I'm so, like, thankful for... Well, one, to you, because you're the one who posted it. But, like, the Last Jedi books, like, I bought them. I'm reading them. I'm starting number 2. Like, if they were even to follow that story... Like, and the Inquisitors are in the book, right?
No, this is pre-Inquisitor stuff, I believe.
Well, Malorum, I think, was the Inquisitor in one of the books.
Oh.
The first book. But, like, the point I'm trying to make is you have so much that you could have done, but to bring back Hayden and say they're going to have another, like, 2 duels, like, it doesn't make sense, and it just undermines everything that was already established. And then there's going to be people that will say, well, Lucas intended Star Wars to continue to grow and to be built. And it's like, okay, well, I guess you can make that argument, but how is this one growing your already dead franchise that you've, killed? And it just doesn't make any sense. Like, it's always been, if you follow it, prequels, Mustafar, the fight on Mustafar, which was the prequel to, the fight on the Death Star with New Hope. It doesn't make any sense. Like, why? No. What does it do to the story? Like, if anything,
it doesn't help elevate it or anything like that. No.
Like, you're telling me that, like, it's going to be a better duel like this fight, right? That they're going with is going to be a better fight. And Revenge of the Sith, like that fight, one of my favorite. Like probably, there's two fights that like give me chills, right? And it's Yoda and Palpatine because I love my boy Sheev, and
Oh
it's
yeah.
Anakin and Obi-Wan. And you're telling me that it's going to be better than that duel, that fight? Like how? Unless Vader's, out, just chopping up stormtroopers,
God, I
practicing
hope not.
his labor, his saber. I just don't know, man. It's I'm biased. I get it, maybe, but it doesn't make sense, and it just really
No,
undermines everything that was already built. It really does.
it does. I mean, I couldn't have said it any
Like,
better.
what are your thoughts? So,
I can't help but just do nothing but agree with you on that. I mean, I mean, I've come to definitely, especially like when you go through the prequels and then the sequel, the the original trilogy.
yeah,
uh that's where I've come to really appreciate then, the fights between Vader and Luke on in Empire Strikes Back, but then especially just how hard some of that stuff can hit with Return of the Jedi, and just
yeah,
what Luke's trying to accomplish, what's going on in
the
Vader's own
struggle.
head,
And
and just
yeah,
the struggle of, Luke's doing everything he can to try and save his father that he just met basically as his
2
father.
hours ago.
and it's just such an amazing dynamic that once you do absorb all this lore and content, it's like, god dang. I mean, I've like I said, it has so much more of an impact, but now it's like they're doing everything they can to erase any significance, any impact that these encounters once had.
So,
I
what do
mean,
you
like
think that
it's just gonna
yeah?
like you said, it's just gonna diminish now further Obi-Wan and Anakin's own struggles against one another to what it became.
What else does this fight have to prove? So, like, fight on Mustafar had to have been just a heart. Like, even if you watch it, like when I watch it,
Oh
that's a
god,
heart
yeah.
wrenching fight, right?
It
Anakin even
is,
a
and then
fought. Yeah.
especially like it is with Ewan McGregor. I mean, he put, you could tell he put some heart into that last line of just like when
Oh,
he's shouting at him, "You are my brother, Anakin."
it wasn't as good as the
It,
book, but it was still
no,
very,
no,
yeah.
it was no. I'll say it was better than the book
You think?
because
Ooh, okay.
I do, just because of how impassioned he was, and he
Yeah,
just kind of like, you kind of got a little bit of
more.
Obi-Wan, a little bit of
Yeah,
Obi-Wan kind of maybe losing that bit of Jedi veneer, and he was letting some
yeah.
emotion, because I mean, like even in the
There's no
books,
emotion. There's peace.
well, even like
Classic.
even like in the way the book details it, it's always like, Obi-Wan even admits that, if there was probably one person he would risk his life to save, it was Anakin.
Right,
Even though he would like he's having that conversation with Mace and Yoda, that he would lay, if he, like he said, if it meant if it meant taking his life to end this war right here and now, he would gladly do it. Or
right,
if we're meaning sacrifice for sacrificing Yoda, and Yoda said he would do the same to Obi-Wan, basically. And it's like, but it, like even Obi-Wan had to admit it, Anakin was that one person that where he wouldn't,
right.
and he would, he'd do anything for. So, it just,
I just
with all
what?
that weight
Yeah,
behind that, and then like I said, then because like to me, I feel like the book and that was maybe more just in that, Obi-Wan was being that consonant Jedi. He is that's him. But I don't know. I kind of preferred the movie, that at least for that certainly that just
that
him,
scene. Yeah, no, for sure.
giving that just like gut wrenching, like, like I said, he just spelts it out of, "You were my brother, Anakin. You were
Oh
supposed to,
yeah.
you weren't supposed to join the Sith. You were supposed, help destroy them." It was, oh god, that is
So
always just kind of
you
like
have
that gut
another
wrencher.
yeah. I mean, you said it beautifully. So like, you have this fight. It's impactful. You got to put yourself in where they're, well, at least Obi-Wan for sure, but even what Anakin's feeling, and then you have another fight. Like what? Like I just don't understand what
I
purpose
just can't
another
see it.
fight would
I just
serve.
I can't see it having the same
How are you
emotional
gonna, like, how
impact or
can you, yeah,
resonance of what's going to happen between these two, because it's just like, no, it's not supposed to happen this way.
I don't understand what Mike's messing up. It really just I can't even get my words out. It really it's irritating. It's sad, and it's just mind boggling too. To like what is their end goal with this show? Like having 2 more fights, assuming that's where they're going, and then lead up to the fight in A New Hope. What is their goal? What is the story that they want to tell?
I don't even see how they're supposed to do this appropriately with only 6 episodes. How are they supposed to build up 6 episodes for them to fight twice?
Since they learned that Boba was so perfect with only 7, and they had their timing was spot
7
on.
episodes where 2 to 3 were dedicated to the Mandalorian, their other intellectual property.
Let's just take a step back. Am I wrong in my assessment? Like, does it really not undermine the fight between them?
I think it does. I certainly think
does it rob their fight on the Death Star, which again had to have been heart-wrenching too, because it's like, oh, I've seen, it's like, all the past memories, and then to see where Anakin his true form, which is Vader, or I guess a more, I don't want to say experienced, but probably more developed Vader. Yeah, I would say, and that had to have been heart-wrenching too. So it's like, what are you gonna do? It's like, oh, hey, Anakin, Vader, spelled your name wrong. Haven't seen you in 10 years. You look darker than ever. Let me see how you're. I cut all your leg. I mean, there's no more appendages really to cut off other than your head. Luke does that to you in A New Hope. Well, Vision at least. So I don't understand. Is he going to be is Vader going to go to Vegas while he's in search of Leia?
Well, and that's part of the question too. Is like, how are they going to interject Leia apparently into these episodes? It's like, okay, you're really, okay. So this is something I wanted to bring up too. Now I don't know if they're either keeping this a secret or what, but where's Qui-Gon? I mean, I think
still
if
negotiating with Liam Neeson because he probably thinks this is an idiot move.
I think if I think if anything, what would have such a big importance more than Obi-Wan versus Vader, Anakin again, would be maybe getting some context and insight to what it was Qui-Gon was teaching him, or just how he was trying to help him.
Yeah, we don't know. In the book,
sometimes that's the best, right? What you don't know is what you can add to your own headcanon to all this is sometimes best.
Well, even in the book of The Last Jedi, or The Last of the Jedi, I apologize. Qui-Gon's in the book, but he still doesn't reveal to Obi-Wan.
No, because
you're not ready.
But that's the thing. Like, he's trying to help him out with his own mental gaps, or just what's holding him back. And so that's why, like it was in the beginning, he first appears to him and he's like, I see you need help. So I'm here to help. I'm not here to train you yet, but I'm here to at least set you on the right path.
Right.
So that's where I'm just kind of like, where is any of this?
They choose characters that they want to bring back. I don't know that I just don't know. That's why I brought up the whole.
It's like I get it. Vader has been very much part of pop culture and is very. I mean, what still gets quoted to this day? No, Luke, I am your father. That's been used since it was done.
Right.
So, I get that he had, and like it is. What does everybody talk about from Rogue One? Vader going sick house on a bunch of stupid rebels.
Right.
Which that scene then ends up making no goddamn sense. Okay.
That's episode 13. Show 13. That's what we'll go over.
But
No.
this is the funny thing. Like they had again, if you want to do Vader trying to Anakin kind of embracing Vader fully and getting into all that, another book, which was Dark Lord: The Rise of Darth Vader.
Great book. I haven't read it fully, but I mean, I know it's a great book.
And at the end, that's where you get a little stinger at the end of Obi-Wan finding out, oh shit, he's alive.
Right.
What the? No, his no. But I mean, at the same time, he takes it in stride because he knows he has his mission to look over Luke and, do what he can in the meantime to prepare.
This all could have been avoided if Obi-Wan would have just force pushed Anakin in lava. That's what I would have done. I would have force pushed him.
Like it was it even in the book. It was for Revenge of the Sith. He was just kind of like, I'm not. Even he wasn't feeling too Jedi-like in that moment.
I got it. I was talking to my brother. Oh, this was a while ago. But I was telling my brother the same thing. I was like, man, I would have just, force pushed Anakin.
Oh, that's been everyone's thought of man, you could have just ended this just by boom.
Well, and then my brother was like, wait, hold on. Like, if you and I were fighting, you'd force push me in the lava. I was like, yeah. And he's like, dick. But I don't know. If you want to do a backstory thing with Vader, I think you could definitely do that, but to go this route, it makes no sense. And it just, again, it's just another example of them pissing on everything that's already been established.
Absolutely.
To create something that should not even be created. It makes no sense.
I said, we've said this again and again. All they had to do was take the books and adapt them basically verbatim. Since they wanted to do them as shows, they could have just adapted the whole damn thing. They didn't have to change anything or whatever.
But here's the argument.
It would have been transferring it from the book to the screen.
One of my friends, he brought this up. He's like, well, you're telling me that you would rather have a movie adapted from the book than new content? I'm like, yeah. Because when you read a book...
Absolutely. Because you already know what the book is, what it's going to be containing, and that it's already a fantastic story or not.
Yeah, that. And you have to rely on your own imagination to paint that picture in your head.
Yeah.
Right? Now,
and at the same time, these people aren't capable of putting together new stories. We're already getting that. Half the time they're looting from expanded universe content. Maybe just to go, hey, look, we're paying attention.
There's so, it's like you have it on a silver platter.
Yeah.
And you just are like, oh man, I can't even come up with an analogy to like explain it because it's just so stupid. But again, so how would you answer that though? Because I know that there might be, viewers.
Wait, how would I answer?
So like this. So the argument, like that question is like, well, why wouldn't you rather? Why would you?
Oh, why would I? Yeah. Why would I rather have books adapted than new content?
Yeah, that they're creating. If you let's take it from the standpoint of somebody defending the mouse.
Okay, so the way I would probably answer that is that because then you have it in the eyes of, and I don't care how this sounds, but the eyes of the brainlets and stuff like that, then legitimizes those stories because it means that and the only way for them to have it be quote unquote canon and everything, it has to be put up on screen. Because otherwise they won't digest it, they won't consume it or whatever. It has to be in movie form or TV form, whatever.
Yeah.
So for that, I would say yes. The reason why I'd rather want the books adapted instead of new story content is that it would help legitimize those stories and maybe even make the people go, oh hey. Especially if it's like abridged or if it's like cut content. Hey, I can go find out what the original story is. It brings eyes to that story. It helps like I said, it just does that. So that would be the big reason why. And again, yeah, they already show they can't seem to create new and engaging stories without either pushing the message and
Yeah.
just constantly being inconsistent with their own storylines.
Yeah,
So
they can't
and
create.
they aren't bringing in people that know that are either already current book writers or that know the lore, stuff like that. They aren't bringing in these people to help out. They're just letting these people use it as their soapbox.
Yeah.
Which has been the problem between not only Star Wars but also like Marvel and DC and shit for all those movies and stuff. It's been the same situation. People just using it as that project to get themselves recognized or whatever. So it's unfortunate, but until you could actually get people that would be creating that good story content that would be passionate, enthusiastic about Star Wars, that knows their stuff, then you can maybe try and trust them with some new territory, or just maybe kind of do 1,000 years time jump or something, and kind of get a fresh canvas going.
Yeah,
that was the advantage of like Knights of the Old Republic. They were 1,000 years before Palpatine and all of that. They were a good chunk of time before all that. Or no, I think it was longer than that.
Yeah.
My timelines are screwed up. But
go sorry.
But until then, so that's basically right. And
dare I say this? I agree with you 100%. But if you were to adapt the book, let's say you read, Kenobi, you read Last of the Jedi, whatever, you take from those books and you try to put it on screen. Dare I say that you might have an opportunity, and let's say you even go far enough to partner with the author of the book, right? To get their perspective.
That's why I say they aren't even bringing in the authors and stuff like that. If anything, to only a limited capacity, maybe.
Yeah, you have an opportunity to, dare I say, maybe even create something that might be better than the book. Maybe not necessarily better than the book itself, but like almost, you know what I mean? Like you bring the book alive.
They could add in some extra ideas or content, stuff that they had maybe thought of before but didn't think it would be good for the book. But hey, maybe this is a chance to try adding a little extra to it that wasn't, like you say, that wasn't in the book. That could be kind of neat.
But then
But then, like, it's kind of weird. It's like they want to put together this new stuff, and yet at the same time, they aren't also willing to make certain they aren't willing to take certain risks,
right?
Because I mean, look at it. It's like we're staying in a time period of where we still know of the Empire.
Yeah,
I mean, all roads are going to be leading to the sequel trilogy, especially for the Mandalorian. And this is the only, but I mean, again, we still have stormtroopers running around and stuff. We still have the Empire running around. It hasn't become the First Order or whatever. It's still in familiar territory, and where they can still bring in characters that they can jangle the keys in front of them. Go, oh hey, remember this? Like they've been doing with Luke, Ahsoka, and whatnot. So.
Well, and also there's another aspect, and I could be completely wrong with this too, but if they were to, I don't know, maybe say visit the books, visit the legend books and canon and everything. Now you go that route. Well, then there's a potential of like building, I don't know, maybe some trust with the old slugs like us that are loyalists. I'm like, hey, no, you know what? Like they do care about legends, they do care about canon, and they are willing to visit, that kind of stuff. But they're not. And they don't, and fight me on it. This is a hill I'll die on. Prove to me that they actually care about legends. Bring any point they don't, because if they did, then they would, right?
Right. You're right.
So, but again, they're so hell bent on creating their own Star Wars. It's not Star Wars, but they're going to use the name Star Wars because of the fan base.
Well, it's like they are, but they aren't. They only take it so far. They're scared to do anything new. That's why I say, take it to a completely distant time period where they can kind of start fresh.
Someone's gonna listen to this like, "Hey, Hitman, you're wrong." Am I? Okay, go spend $6,000 to Galaxy, the Star. What is it? Battle Star. What is it? I'm so pissed off right now.
No, the Galactic Star
Yeah.
Cruiser.
Yeah, you're just biased. You're biased and you're stupid and okay, go do that. Go spend $6,000. Go do that experience and tell me how much Star Wars you actually experience.
Yeah.
True Star Wars, not this. We love you, Ray. Use your lightsaber.
Like, God, that was so bad. So bad.
If you care about something, then you'll prove that you care about something, and if you don't, then there's no evidence to prove that you care about it. I think it's just God, we can go on for hours about this, but it's just
oh no, yeah, absolutely.
I think that if they did, then I'd be like, okay, you know what, they're actually trying. Like, I hate Kennedy, Favreau, don't, I think they're the Three Stooges. I think they should go to their own island. But if they acquired it from Lucas and they actually did the opposite of what they did, they took they took the ideas that Lucas gave and they ran with it, then they shows that, you know what, like, you've created something amazing and we respect you enough to go along and try some of these things out. But no, what they do, they took his ideas and then they directly, we're like, no, we're going to do our own thing. I understand wanting to do your own thing, putting your own spin on stuff, right? I get that.
Right.
But, God, this
is
isn't
do it within it makes sense,
But nothing makes sense. Ray being the granddaughter of Palpatine. What? And then, like, she's she's actually a Skywalker.
No, she's not. Stop it.
That's like Rose Dawson saying that she was, what was Jack's last name? Was it Dawson? Huh? Yeah, it was Dawson. Because it was like DeWitt Bacade or whatever. It's like saying, like, Rose saying, like, no, I'm a Dawson. How are you a Dawson? You never married the guy. You're not related to him. It's exactly like, ugh. Stupid. I just can't. This in itself is a rabbit hole, because it's like, who did Palpatine have sex with? Like, you read the Plagueis book and, like, he was a bureaucrat and he went out to dinners and whatnot, but, like, who did he have sex with?
That's something I think is better left unsaid.
But again, like, do you think that if Lucas wanted this to be a thing, don't you think that maybe not even Lucas himself would do it, but do you think somebody would maybe, I don't know, write a book within Legends that explained that she knocked the old work boots with somebody who had a child, and then that child had a child and produced Rey? Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
No, and they certainly did nothing to explain how that whole union came together. And yeah, they didn't do themselves any favors.
We can go to rabbit hole, but it's just go home and is there anything else we want to cover?
Well,
any last
the only thing I think we kind of said it all when it comes to this Kenobi
dumpster fire.
Yeah, it's just even wish it. What just made me just shake my head with that article too. It's just like, oh, are we gonna be able to see his face? No, we shouldn't be seeing his face unless he's in his freaking compression chamber, or in a, like what they did in, what was it, Rogue One, where he's in the Bacta tube. I mean, that's the only times that he would have any of that gear off.
Yeah.
Don't do it. No. It was stupid when they did it in Rebels. In Rebels, it was just a helmet crack, basically. But
I was trying to post a GIF in the chat. I don't think I'm able to. That sucks.
No, all I see is still what the links that you posted.
Because I had a really funny GIF. No, yeah. Hopefully, I was on point with some of the things I was saying.
I think so. Well, I'm not gonna. I thought about going over this article about a rumored Star Wars High Republic series, but I just Fuck that series. What is kind of grabbing?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I was at the comic book store earlier this week picking up my DC load, and actually saw a younger teenager. She probably in her maybe, I don't know, 20s or whatever. She actually requested High Republic comics. I was like, you are the first human I've ever heard requesting this dog water comic book. I was in shock. She's like, "Yeah, do you have issues 11 and 12?" I didn't even know they made it that far.
Did you actually say that to her?
I cannot confirm nor deny what I said for legal reasons, but no, she I was kind of dumbfounded. It just, again, like everybody,
I may, this is a funny thing because I know how sometimes you get even at work. It's like I feel like even though I call myself fractured filter, sometimes your filter is more broken than mine.
I need to come up with a better name. Maybe
I swear, I'm just like, I don't know, like
maybe I'll change my name to
I'll talk some shit. But I mean,
I'm gonna change my name to like Peter Griffin or something because there's no filter, brain mouth, no.
You know what grinds my gears?
Yeah. No, but this was actually, like, I'm not even joking. I'm not even making this up for the show. Like, I was in there and she picked up. She was inquiring. She had picked up. She had one copy and she was inquiring about like issues 11 and 12. And
okay, I won't lie. If I was probably there with you, I might have been like, really?
Yeah.
What do you like about him?
You probably would have.
What do you like about him, really?
In the back of my head, or you would have just egged me on.
You probably egged you on.
One of the two. like Jane Hitman, she's a child. How dare you say that? Or you would have been like, I bet you won't say it. Or no. This is for everybody who's listening. He would have done this. Fraction Filter would have been like, do it.
I dare you. Do it.
Palpatine would just kind of just do it. Yeah, I would have been there. Oh,
I might have. Yes.
No. Yeah. True story. And I just.
I just would have been more the inquisitive type. I think I just would have been like, okay, so tell me why you like them. What is it about these stories?
What about this that dog water?
When you just gotta approach it just right. You just gotta. What makes you like these books? Please, I have to know, because from what I've personally seen of them, I'm tough to understand because I could recommend you a bunch of other better stories than what you're diving into.
Please explain why you love this Jedi Master Wookiee with a have you seen some of these lightsabers? The art, like,
so stupid.
This Lord of the Rings, Star Trek looking lightsaber.
It's so bad. It's so bad. I'm just like, guys, the whole thing that was cool about lightsabers was that they were just the lightsabers. You didn't need any extra special gimmicks or anything like that. We didn't need them twirling. We didn't need them doing stupid things. It just needed to be the freaking hilt, and that was it. So what I was saying while you got kicked out
by the girl that bought the comic book,
she hacked your phone.
She did. She used Apple Pay and somehow hacked my phone. And
what I was saying though before you got kicked, or while you were kicked, was the whole thing about lightsabers was that they were lightsabers. They looked cool. They made cool effects, and they were able to. It was the Jedi or Sith's weapon. That was all we needed. They didn't need to do anything special or twirly or stupid. Nothing.
Wait, hold on. So you mean they should be used as a transportation device?
No, they should not. Absolutely not.
Tell Filoni
that. The only thing that we needed was then the introduction of the staff saber, which made sense, because then it's just that extra, just that part of variant. It's like, okay, cool. And it made Darth Maul unique. Until then, they started giving it to a bunch of other characters, anyways. But in that meantime, it at least made Darth Maul a unique villain character because he had his lightsaber we hadn't seen yet.
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't believe we have, because I don't know if the Old Republic games weren't
like
out.
You said. I have seen a lot of those lightsabers, and then you look at stupid Kylo Ren's saber. That stupid thing with the cross guard having the lightsaber bits coming out of that. I'm like, really? Really? It looks it looks stupid. No.
But hey, it protected him in duel and lightsaber combat.
No, if anything that protected you maybe a little bit, and if only if it was made of cortosis, would be
Jedi
some of these
Outcast reference, thank you.
Would have been some of these lightsaber hilts where at least it actually has a proper cross guard on there, not a thing that comes out and then has its own lightsabers on top of it. Ugh.
To prevent us from being deemed as just old, biased, loyalist turds, I guess we should probably.
I'm fine with that.
I mean, I am too, but maybe we should look into this High Republic dumpster fire just so people who just hear me out. So like, well, you're just biased, and have you read them? Maybe you'd like them, so we know more about them. Because again, I've not read the dumpster fire High Republic utter garbage. I've sent you pictures of the ridiculousness and how they even have a Halcyon, a High Republic Halcyon cruiser.
Yeah, they
comic
have that
books.
reference in there.
I don't know. It's interesting. I was in the local bookstore and there's more High Republic stuff than actually Legend books, and that's very
because it's
very
not
upsetting.
selling.
Well, I know they're packed out, and I'd love to hack into their system and see their sales. But yeah, that's interesting. But I also wasn't trying to get kicked out of the store. I could have said a lot more, and I probably should have, but I wish you were there because we've been like, do it.
Yeah, like I said, I might have egged you on.
Oh, you would have, and then we both would have been arrested for
but
something.
You know what makes me immediately go? Let me save this. I'll put this. No, you know what? This. All I need really is probably one page to go. You know what? Screw this, because it immediately destroys. Because this is the thing. We've seen it in even the newer movies. They have no concept of how the the lightsabers are supposed to work at all.
I thought you were gonna say the Force.
Because hang on. No, a lightsaber should not be doing this. Should not stop you mid-length on this thing.
Yeah.
So just that fact right there already tells me no. You have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
You can say all the focus you freaking want. No, it's still stupid.
No. There's actually people out there that, like on Twitter, that were saying that they really love the idea that you could use I don't even know if there's like a proper name for the Inquisitor lightsaber that spins, but there's some people that actually think it's cool. I'm like,
no, and they've tried to make the excuse of that they are not properly trained Sith or anything like that, so it's used as kind of a crutch. I've heard a lot of the stupid excuses.
Tell me how it's physically possible. Like, I guess if you're using maybe a force jump, I don't even know how that's
the way they
possible.
use it for travel?
Yeah, how's that physically possible? Please, somebody explain that to me.
I mean, from what I could tell, there was nothing that gave it a level of propulsion or anything. I mean, if you look at a helicopter, it requires two blades.
I mean, this thing's got to be moving pretty quick for you to catch flight.
Yeah, and even then, that would mess up I mean, I know it kind of goes outward and everything, but it's like, that in of itself would create a weird, like, I don't know, a vacuum of some kind that would mess with either side of you. I mean, I don't know.
I guess if flight was possible, then Grievous would have been able to do it. Yeah, because he was the. I mean,
he was the
guy that started it.
Basically,
and I'm talking about like solely, flight, used from the lightsaber, not anything, that he had cybernetically, attached to him.
Right.
It's just I can't even. I have diarrhea thinking about it. And I think in this Kenobi series,
right.
I think that he has a spinning lightsaber. I think that we saw.
Yeah, and from the trailer that they had for Kenobi, it was
freaking Filoni at his best.
For the fat-headed Inquisitor from Utapau.
I really hope that they just get a Conehead to do it. I could live with the Conehead.
Yeah. Well, okay.
Should probably lower our blood pressure. We should probably get into. Lower our blood pressure. At the end of the day, I might code. Just based off this episode.
So shall we get into the Mandalorian? Let's
get into it. Yeah.
All right. Let me get my notes back up again. Where does it start? Where is it? Come on. I need to make it bigger. No, that's the gunslinger. We go down to the bottom. There we go. Okay. So I couldn't help but make a little notation too about the recap. I just like I ended up saying the recap makes things seem more serious than they are.
Yeah.
And then it gets into the episode. It's Mando gets to meet with an old friend, it seems, that he reached out to. It goes on to that space station that guy's on. What was it, Ranzar or something? Was his friend's name?
I think his name was Ran or
Ranzar. I looked it up on IMDb because I'm like, okay, I should at least have somebody's name. But I think I just ended up calling him Harry. Just because of how freaking hairy he was.
Wasn't he the detective from Too Fast, Too Furious?
I think so, but it also wasn't he in Batman Begins? He was Bullock, I think.
No, he was Flass.
Oh. Anyway. So then they lightly touch on Mando's issues with the guild. Ranzar has a job for Mando to bust into a prison, and he just needs him to be the wheelman. Kind of. At least that's the way it made it seem at first. I'm also trying to get it up. That's awkward. So yeah. Mando's friend has ulterior motives to letting him crash at his place, and that was the Razor Crest. They introduced Bill Burr, who was Mayfield.
Mayfield.
Everybody seemed to kind of pronounce it differently. Mando and Harry have some bit of history recap, and Harry lays out that for the mission, Mayfield is the one running point, so it's like Harry is giving the orders. Harry mentions a bit of Mayfield's history of being a crack shot since he was once part of the Empire's sharpshooters. I forgot what they called them specifically. I think he had some sort of name.
Imperial sharpshooter or something.
Was that it? It was just.
That's I think what he used what he said or what he called him.
So yeah, then it's Mando makes the snarky reply of "that isn't saying much," and Burr, of course, replies with "I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass." I was like, the meme of stormtroopers can't hit is now even in this show, despite the fact they were, supposed to be the elite of the elite. But why bother with that? Yeah, just continue to diminish our villains and stuff like that, man. So, Then Burr mocks the Razor Crest, saying it looks like Canto Bite slot machine. Further evidence that yes, the sequel trilogy exists and all roads lead there, because he could have said, I had a couple of examples that he could have gone with a Hutt slot machine or a Nar Shaddaa slot machine to avoid sequel trilogy nonsense. Because I mean, this has been the longest thing. Oh no, it's gonna be retcon. The sequel trilogy won't exist. We totally swear. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Burr mocks. Oh, I already said that. And then Mando gets introduced to the team first. The Deveronian. I called him. His name was Berg, but I called him Kurgan because that is Clancy Brown. So I was like, it's the Kurgan.
The Kurg, yeah.
It's the Kurg. Or Burger.
Burger, like Burger.
Who says, isn't he a little short to be a Mandalorian? And I was just like, wow, so original. Got a roboid called Zero, and then a funky-looking Twi'lek, Zion,
whatever name.
Keon, yeah.
Keon, yeah.
I couldn't help but also say it's like, Mando and the goofy Twi'lek seem to have a history of the romantic sort.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this has been part of my problems too. It's like, the Twi'leks just look horrendous.
They're not very good
since being out of George Lucas's care.
Yeah.
And that side of things. It's like, I mean, you guys
they're trying to humanize them more.
It's like, I mean, I guess it's like they're losing their alienness, but it's just like the Twi'leks Lekus look god awful on them. Like the head tails, they just look poorly done. I mean, I even looked at some shots from Phantom Menace, and it was like a couple of the Twi'lek girls that were with shoot, I forgot. Not Watto. The pod racer that Anakin was mainly antagonistic with.
It wasn't Sebulba, was it? No.
Yeah, Sebulba. Thank you.
Yeah.
Like he was being tended to by a couple of Twi'lek girls, and I'm like, oh, those look a lot better. And then then you think of Return of the Jedi and everything. It's like, those Twi'leks looked awesome, and they look alien. Yeah. They didn't have. I mean, it was like.
Wait, hold on. You're saying that actually looked good because Lucas was a part of it?
Lekus. So Lekus are their head tails.
Yeah,
that's what they're called.
Lekus.
So, that I mean, it just all just looks so bad. It just comes off like, I don't know, because they're supposed to, the Leku are supposed to be alive, not alive, but I mean it's part of them. So it's almost like a tail because it can quiver, it can kind of react to their own moods and stuff like that, and you get none of that. They're just
that would cost money. What are you talking about?
It would actually mean some attention to detail. I know, right? Otherwise, and Roboid messing with Mando's ship and finds the message from Carl Weathers about the acquirement of Grogu. Mission debriefing. Mando is already finding out he was lied to, as they have to hit a New Republic prison instead of a Syndicate stronghold, I think it was.
Yeah.
But it said that the ship is only staffed with droids, so should make it easy for him to do the mission. So again, we're at least getting some remembrance that Mando hates droids, but he's willing to work with Zero. He'll make an exception for.
Just so much contradiction.
He makes exceptions here and there, as we've noticed. Roboid goes over all the problems with the ship thus far and questions why they're using it, and it's because the Razor Crest is off Empire and New Republic records, basically.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Do you have? Chime in anytime.
Yeah. Well, this is just kind of some of the stuff I put. So I put Mandalorian Chapter 6, The Prisoner, and I was like, I was the prisoner watching this episode. Recap scene, opening scene. I said Mando meets Rand. I would run away, or I would have run away. The job, I'd quit. What's the look? I put, what look? He's got a helmet on you, Honyaker. Like, what? Like, and then I called Burr. I called him Baldylocks, I think is what I referred to him as.
The Deboronian.
Yeah. No. Bill Burr. I have another name for.
Okay. Burr. Oh, sorry, like, my bad.
Oh, you're good.
Okay.
Baldylocks means Mando. I said Rand. He's one of the best triggermen I've ever seen. Former Imperial sharpshooter. Mando, that's not saying much. And then I thought Baldylocks, insert hurt feelings. I wasn't a stormtrooper, wise ass, like you said.
Yeah.
Jump down to introductions are in order. Meet the Three Stooges, and this is what I called them. So Hellboy, Peon, and then they got it right with Zero. Mando and Peon have a love past ? Zero zeroing in the ship.
Yeah.
Baldylocks covering the intel, running his mouth about the job. And I had something that you just said, but Peon reminds Mando of the New Republic prison ship, man, by droids, love-hate relationship. So we go, it's just this weird, like, I hate droids, no droids, and then, like, I'll work with IG, but I still hate droids, but I really just hate droids, but I'll work with Zero. But
I wouldn't take a ride from a droid that would have made my first mission that we get to see a lot easier.
Right.
And instead of it, I take it from this goofy ass human who then gets eaten by a giant,
but again,
water creature.
Disney doing what they do best and giving no context of why he hates droids. That he'll work with droids.
Well, that's kind of what they're working through the flashbacks and stuff. That's why, like, the last flashback we got was the super battle droid opening the thing and clearly having killed his parents and stuff like that, and he's gonna get found out.
Yeah, and then to your point, Zero Zero questions why they're using this bucket of bolts. It's off the grid. And then so it's just, oh God, there's so much that this prison ship, like, ugh, God, I don't know. Once you, like, I don't know, go to an actual planet or I don't know. I mean,
at least we're not on Tatooine for once.
I mean, I would have assumed.
At least we're not there.
Watched it, I would assume that they were going back to Tatooine. They're going to break into Jabba's palace, or the guy who's running Jabba's palace. And that, I originally, when I first watched it, I thought that that's where they were going to go with it. But then they chose this flying prison that, God, whatever. And then, I just jumped down to, that's how I feel right now. Rand running Mando out of the pilot seat.
Yeah, I had it was where what? Snarker. Already tension with the crew. Roboid is doing all the flying and lets Mando go and hang out with the troops. Kurgan is shifting into Mando's shit. Kurgan questions about why they need a Mandalorian. Mayfeld mocks them almost as he says that. Says that word is they're the best warriors in the galaxy has seen and the galaxy's ever seen. Further laughter added. Why they all dead then? Twi'lek says about one of the jobs they did was that Mando liked whatever depraved things they did, and that she knows, quote, what he's really like. Maybe implying she's seen his face, or just talking about his actions on that job until Burr asks about the helmet, but she says no, never seen his face, and jokes, this is the way. Burr claims maybe he's a Gungan and does an impersonation of him saying, Misa don't want to show my face. Cheap pop.
That was terrible. Just a terrible scene.
Mando and Kurgan get into a fight, and while doing so, accidentally exposes Grogu. It's like you long for real Mandalorians like Canderous, who probably would have taken that bitch apart. None of this would have happened. It just would have been called,
ripped her legumes through her mouth.
Yep.
That's pretty close to what I think I had. What I said, Jim down here. I just put a 0 claiming to be faster than organics and smarter too. And then I just put ridiculous scene with Hellboy, Peon, Baldylocks. 0 jumps into hyperspace. Then Hellboy presses buttons, opens weapon, cache. Mando's not having it. Door closes. Hellboy sad. And then, to your point, Hellboy asks why they need a Mandalorian. Baldylocks is firing shots at the Mandalorians. Hellboy fires back with, why are they, if that's the case, why are they all dead? And then Peon, well, she's just a peon. Mayfield asking about taking off the helmet, wondering what he looks like. And then, do we have to bring up the Gungans with this terrible impression? JJ, you shyster again. And then I just wrote, can we be done with the helmet conversations?
It seems to be the topic of everything that they want to get into.
This whole show, multiple times, and we're not going to get into future. I'm trying not to
jump ahead.
That I've watched season 2 and the rest of season 1, but it's just ridiculous. I'm so over it. Why? It's just stupid. Why?
Yeah. I hear you. Especially when it's you have a person there that's already interacted with him, so why are you bringing it up anyway?
And then there's just this ridiculous fight scene that you're talking about, the Davern attacks Mando trying to get his helmet off, and then just magically hits the button that releases the door.
That shows off Grogu.
That shows Grogu. Yeah. This is why I said Hellboy attacks Mando trying to get his helmet off. Womp Rat door opens for everyone to see.
Yep. Burr questions it if him and the Twi'lek made that. I giggled a little bit. I won't lie. None of them are ready for the sharp flying the roboid as they come out of hyperspace. Because they basically just go flying right into the damn thing.
Wonderful CGI. I don't know if you thought
that. Not really. They start in on the ship after I call them Daleks. Swift by the black spheroid looking not sphere, but they're more in that shape.
Were they real cool? Were they trying to steal rip off the interrogation droids that were in A New Hope? I don't think that's exactly what they're called.
No, not quite, because they were they were bigger and they're more in a kind of triangle shape. If anything.
You know what I think I got confused with the droids that were on Outcast because I played Outcast last night. Disregard what I just said.
You played Outcast last night.
Well, no, there's a droids, on Outcast. Well, I thought they actually looked somewhat like, I don't know. I thought I did. I watched it this morning when I was
not quite like these, no.
Yeah, okay. Continue.
So Mando takes one look at Grogu's room and starts down. They go by a bunch of prison cells, seeing a bunch of creatures. Twi'lek says how paranoid Mando is after he expresses his own dislike of the situation they're in. Then they get the mouse droid that comes along, and the stupid Kurgan decides to have a little game and destroys it. If I remember right.
Interject here real quick. Do you think this is a potential shot? So he calls it Little Mouse, right? Or does it say Little Mouse? So it's actually called, and I'll say it in my notes, but it's like the MSE 6 droid is technically what it's called, but it's called the Mouse droid. So is this like Filoni trying to be funny when he says Little Mouse? Or I just saw it, and that's just I just questioned. I was like
it's just a little on the nose about it, yeah. It's for what everybody's referred to them as.
The Mouse droid, I just have this I always think that Filoni's just trying to take shots at George. That's just what I have in my head. I could be wrong. Maybe
Well,
he's
it's
trying to
kind
say
of it was
homage,
kind of
but-
like recreating the Chewbacca shouting at the mouse droid
Right.
in A New Hope.
Like just doing just ripping stuff away. But all right. Yeah, continue because I don't know where I'm at here.
No worries. Burr has a weird turret backpack gun. Mando magically got behind the droids and gets to show off a little bit as he fights the droids and takes them out because big stupid Kurgan decided to, make some noise and get the sentry droids on them. Burr saying better clean up your mess, even though it was the Kurgan that alerted them to what was going on.
Yeah.
One poor little Republic soldier. Burr mocks him with his shoes and belt. Till the soldier pulls out a tracking beacon. Mando starts to talk to the soldier till they all point guns at one another, and the Twi'lek knifes the soldier, only to realize the distress signal was pushed anyway. Good job, bitch.
Let's see what I put. Pretty close. I said, I'll just jump up here. I said, Burr questions if Mando and Peon made it. Please no. Is it a pet or something? I said, Burr grabs now pet. Hyperspace debacle. Baby pulls a Jeff Hardy swan dive. Please, I hope somebody knows who Jeff Hardy is. The Hardy Boys from old WWF. Peon, this is where I try to be funny. So Peon is hissed off because no countdown. She loves to hiss. Is she part Twi'lek or Calf Hound for those old Republic fans? Like, I don't understand the hissing. Mando trying to open the hatch. Everyone waiting on Mayfield to lead the charge. Her royal histress enters in. Then clumsy locks, I think, and then by Mando. So I think I called clumsy locks what you were called Davrin, or what were you, Kurgan?
Kurgan, yeah. Have you not seen Highlander?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I need to.
So that one's over your head. Okay.
Yeah. So I was trying to watch Kurgan. I was trying to think about it, but walking through the ship, history says Mando's paranoid. Then Guy Money asking if Mando's is paranoid. Whilst he gets scared, fired a shot in his pants. That scene where he got scared, and then Dumb Brute shoots the MSC6 droid, calls it Lil Mousy. Really? I was like, all sections have been alerted to your presence, sir.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah. Blaster fire ups. Mayfield calls out Mando. Or calls out Mando.
I mean, it was really just a stupid moment. Like, why you guys aren't you all know what the job is.
Yeah,
I get it, certain temperaments and stuff like that, but it's like you're really gonna have this guy act like such a spurg.
Yeah,
and I thought, what about the Imperial guy here? He should be all like, clean cut, button up, and like, I know he's been out of the Imperial, forces for however long, but that stuff doesn't exactly leave you. You'd think there'd be some
type
semblance
of
training or just discipline of keeping these guys in line. I mean, I know he was a sniper, but he also has to have a great deal of patience, even though he said he's impatient. But it's like, you're a sniper. Patience is like one of the most key things you kind of need.
Yeah. Well, this is what, and then like I think you may have called out, like Mayfield calls out Mando. It's supposed to be something special, but he can't take a droid out with 3 blasters.
Right.
And then Mando obviously takes the droids out. Best car for the win. Captain Obvious states the obvious. And then this is where we get into I said 4 against 1, Egghead. Egghead pulls out the tracking beacon. Mando tries to reason with Egghead. And then we have an Alcatraz standoff from the Rock scenario.
I didn't even consider that.
It's literally
you're right.
And then history sliced and diced the Egghead. And I just put, you done messed up Aaron. So I just that's all. That's where I was at. So
because Mando was trying to talk the poor little bastard down.
Davin.
Yeah. So then it was I call Daleks and struggle snuggle with the Kurgan, and he blows up 2 droids for the price of 1. Mando gets thrown into prison cell after their target was in. Who's the brother of the Twi'lek, who also seems to know Mando too.
Interesting enough.
Roboid deciphers the message or cleans it up and learns of the quarry. Mando manages to get himself out of jail cell after being betrayed, and heads to the control room where the New Republic soldier was and starts messing with the crew. You get to play little mind games with them.
Yeah. Let's see. Yeah. Pretty much, as it's searching for the companion. Companion is found. Mando forcefully traded places with Quinn. Carl Weathers' holo cameo. Mando could use a hand escaping. So one was given to him. Yeah, right. Lockdown initiated. Comms interrupted. Thank you. And then I just jumped down to a Wombat meets Zero. Zero meet. I said Wombat meet Zero. Womprat meet Zero. Zero meet. He's gone. And then brotherly. I wrote brotherly and sisterly love doesn't run deep.
No. Yeah, Grogu says hello to the droid. Prisoner actually accurately says Deveronian. Shocking. It'll still shock me that they actually use the names of the species
from canon. Are you talking?
Yeah, I know, right?
What? Shocking.
Whoa. Grogu starts to play games with the roboid. Prisoner is only interested in getting out, doesn't care about his sister, and Mayfeld says, "Nice family." Mando notices the transponder and takes it with him. Mando begins some cat and mouse games with the crew. Grogu doing the same with the droid.
Father like son.
Mando goes after Kurgan first, who somehow tanks a flamethrower to the face. I didn't think that just because they looked like devil guys meant they were fire resistant. I'm just like, really? I mean, dude, the fuck? Whatever. Kurgan gets door smash treatment. Twi'lek tries to get in touch with the droid, but nothing, and is the next victim of Mando? Question mark. Burr shows off his sharpshooter skills. Mando goes to fight the Twi'lek, who launches a barrage of knives at him till they get close, and he gets a knife on her throat. Mando plays some Predator sneaking time up on Burr and cuts away, not showing their fight at all. Gotta love that off-screen fighting. Because then Mando meets up with the brother Twi'lek and asks if they were killed, and Mando just says they got what they deserved. Grogu attempts some Jedi stuff on the droid till Mando comes up from behind and blasts it, and they are taking off and leaving the prison ship.
You had a lot more than I did. I didn't cover. Well, this is why I covered. So I said Mando takes the beacon. The hunter becomes the hunted, or so they think. Hide and seek commences between Zero and the Womprat. Zero has zero chance of finding him. I said Hellboy giving Mando hell. Mando blasts Hellboy with blast doors.
What is this like? He smashes him with one door, but then he's still getting up, and then he gets smashed by another door. I'm like, okay, he's got to be dead, right?
This is where I don't understand. So like he's left. So the Daveronians left him the door, and then he initiated. Then he did you catch like? I think Mando knows magic because he magically just had something in his hand, like he farted, and then he had that silver thing that he threw at the controls. Like I even tried to play it slow. I was like, I don't know where he got it from. Like he pulled a Palpatine with his lightsaber.
Oh,
it just magically appeared.
Like one of the knives or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if it was a knife. It was something silver that he had in his hand, and he threw it at the door to trigger the door controls. But this is what I didn't understand. So like, the door shuts and the Daveronian lifts up the door. Then he hits the blast door.
Yeah,
but doesn't no head removal. Like if you watch it, like where did hit like, there's zero space between the actual door and then a blast door, right? Yeah. And his head is popping out from under the door. So when the blast door is initiated, you would assume that his head was going to be cut off.
It's going to be popped like a grape.
Where, like, what?
Oh, we'll get there. Don't. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. You continue because then I think then I caught up. Well, then I just put like no head removal. Histress is in a pissy mood. Droid gets outsmarted by an organic, which he said that he wasn't going to,
Yeah.
he's smarter than organics. I said Mayfield. Yeah. Mayfield's turn. 3 versus 3. 3 blasters, 3 droids, and then this is the thing that just pissed me off. I was like, Histress versus Mando. Does she have a surplus of knives in that bonnet? Like, how many knives does she have?
She had plenty. That's all that counted.
But like, she reminds me of like Oliver Queen in the Arrow. He's got like he can shoot.
A bunch of arrows.
20 arrows in your quiver, but you've literally shot. Okay, this is a better example. It's like you ever
You're not
watch.
Supposed to be counting.
Listen, you ever watch the old Dirty Harry movies?
Yeah.
Okay, you remember like there's one in the second one.
Yeah, the first big scene where he, oh God.
You know where I'm going with this, right?
Yeah.
There was one scene where it's like, he's like,
he starts rattling off all of his shots exactly, and he says his gun only has about 6 shots.
Yeah.
So goes into the whole, do you feel lucky, punk?
Well, yeah. But there's one in the second movie where it's like, he's like, I know. Oh, I'm gonna butcher the quote, but it's like basically, did I fire 5 or 6 rounds? And to be honest with you, I can't remember. So yeah, do you feel lucky, punk? Yeah, that one. But
that was from the first film.
Go through that scene. 15 times he's firing, like 14 to 15. I counted 14 to 15 times. So it's kind of like that. It's like, how many knives do you freaking have?
Well, they were small knives, so they could have fit in the pouch, and
Yeah. I don't even know where I'm at. So yeah, and then Mayfield gets got. Quinn tries to sweeten the deal.
Yeah.
Zero finds Womp Rat. 0 is really a 0. Mando returns Quinn back to Rand, gets paid.
Mando's heading back to the space station and has the Twi'lek brother back to Harry. Harry asks about the others, and Mando points out, no questions asked. That's the policy. Mando collects his fee and heads off. After Mando is heading out, Harry puts in the order to quote-unquote kill him. And then it's revealed that the Twi'lek had the New Republic responder. Yeah. How he didn't notice that, Lord knows.
Beeping? I don't know if I heard something beeping. If I had something attached to those beeping, I'd probably, hear it.
And we get a cameo from our favorite person in the world, Mr. Dave Filoni himself. Shoehorned his fat ass into this episode as an X-Wing pilot. So what was funny though about this is I made the note. So Dave Filoni's stupid ass shoehorns himself in. So the New Republic asks 0 questions, takes no prisoners, and acts like the Empire and just vapes the space station to debris. I mean, I understand that they tracked down this transponder, but it was supposed to be I'd imagine that the signal was unique to the prison ship. So, how is it that then they come to a space station that is completely not their prison transport thing or whatever, and they're like, you know what? Let's just blow the hell up. Let's just blow this place to hell.
It's very Empire-like.
That's what I said. I thought that was very interesting. Yeah, I was just like, okay, that was, and Mando now just got these people killed.
But why Filoni doing a cameo?
But this is funny because it's like, okay, Mando gives Grogu the metal ball after he says to him, "Told you that was a bad idea." Man, somehow they had a conversation apparently. Revealed that all Mando's crew are actually still alive and in New Republic prison. How the hell did the Kurgan survive the door smashing? So back to that point of how the hell the Kurgan could have survived the damn door smashing, or in your case, Hellboy.
I honestly, I missed that.
He kept all of them alive. He kept all of them alive. but he then sacrifices an old friend, basically, or at least what they made it seem like they had a buddy relationship, and the person that he just brought in, he just got them blown to smithereens. You know, you're not exactly doing too well. I mean, I know he tried to order for a kill, but
yeah,
it is like you didn't exactly know that was going to happen. So for all you know, he wasn't going to do anything, and you just got them vaped hardcore for what could have been no reason at all.
makes
What a dick. Yeah. I just that whole it's just like, really? And then, like I said, the you know how he kept all of them alive except for the brother and his old pal.
I don't even know how the Davronian or whatever he was able to survive the door smashing.
No, I couldn't tell you.
That's like Eddard Stark surviving his head being cut off by, well, was it? Oh God, what's his name? Not Joseph. Who was it? Whatever the kid's name was in Game of Thrones, where he orders, Sean Bean's head to be cut off, and it's like him said, it's like literally, it's like he survived.
Yeah.
0 cents. Maybe he has another head. Maybe he grew another head.
Maybe.
I don't know. But yeah, it doesn't make sense. So you're willing to sacrifice literally the people that tried to kill you, but you're going to kill somebody
else, yeah.
That's trying to
that paid
kill you.
But yes, then to try to betray and kill you, yes.
Is it because he didn't pay you?
I just like, really?
Or...
Really?
Well,
it just was the whole setup. I'm like I said, it didn't necessarily, it wasn't necessarily gonna be done that way, for all he knew.
He didn't know that
he didn't know Rand was problem.
He didn't know Rand was gonna kill him, but he knew that these guys were trying to kill him, so he saved the guys that were trying to kill him, but he kills the one that he had no idea that was gonna try to kill him. Like, it makes no sense. It literally makes no sense. It's like,
it was just like an ending for the sake of an ending and to have a big explosion.
It's like they were on a time crunch. They were like, they had to premiere the episode within 20 minutes, and they're still on Act 1 trying to figure out how to end the episode. Again, it's like you said, it's just a time filler that I'd rather watch paint on the house dry than watch this.
Harsh. Kind of true.
Well, I mean, so yeah, and is there anything I missed? Because I mean,
that was basically the end of the episode.
I was so excited for it to end that I did not see Filoni in there. So thank you for pointing that
Filoni
out.
and Deborah Chow were in the X-Wings. I saw the IMDb credits. That's the only reason why I know that.
Yeah, I didn't even see that. I just was, But
what I had to laugh at though was like the that like how they have at the end of every episode the artwork and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I just had to laugh. I was like, man, for the Twi'lek looks a lot better, and it's funny because he looks basically like Clancy Brown already.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, why didn't he look more like this? Like have the goatee and shit and look actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if he's just kind of out of shape. So the actor was he, but I mean, this is kind of like how the guy looks. This, if you can imagine, without all the devil makeup on.
Yeah.
But it's like this looks way more impressive than what we got, in my opinion.
It's kind of like the Utapaulian from Revenge of the Sith versus fat Pillsbury Doughboy in the new Kenobi. I agree. But again, that would, for them to do that, then Disney would have had to, I don't know, probably spend more money, which, they're not in the business of.
Not quite, no.
Bastards. Or actually, I don't know, put time, like you say, put time and effort and, passion into something that you're trying to create.
Well, that would be
But
helpful, yeah.
that's the thing, man. All these costumes, and I think you touched on it earlier, is like they're just poorly, cheaply done, just
Yeah.
for the sake of doing it. Like, and even I touched on this even in when we were doing Book of Boba, like the Rhodian, terrible. Every
Yeah.
costume is just terrible. The Twi'lek from like the mayor's assistant, terrible.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
is he a Twi'lek or a human?
Well, like I said, all the Twi'leks just end up they're just, like it is. They're just humans with skin paint on.
I mean,
They're not
literally.
alien at all.
But is that what they're going for? Are they trying to humanize them? Like the scene. So this was a hot topic back when. I don't know if we covered it. It might be in. Have we got to the episode where? I'm gonna hold my thought. But so there are social justice issues that have been touched on within the Mandalorian. That's all what I'll say until we get to, I think, the episode with the Tusken Raiders. I don't know if we've had that episode yet. Have we had interaction with the Tusken Raiders?
The only interaction that we had with the Tusken Raider was when
Last episode.
The last episode when
Okay.
they magically appeared, were
I didn't know,
standing there
that's
like
right.
regular, and weren't already pointing guns at them. All to do is
So
a
that means
stupid
that-
little.
Yeah. It's where I'll reference this, and you're the one who actually said this to me. It's like kumbaya around the campfire. But there's a social justice
That's
issue.
probably what, in season 2.
I think it might be season 2
If it's involving the Tuskens.
Yeah, when we were talking about it, but it's like I don't even know where I was going with that. But yeah, these. Oh no, I did. Yeah, that's where I was going with it. It's like you just are you trying to humanize these characters, and they did it with the Tuskens. Are they trying to do it with the Twilight? I don't know, man. Like when you watch Return of the Jedi and you see Bib Fortuna, like, and to your point, like all the Twi'leks that you saw, like those, like oh yeah, that's like they look like an alien race. Like you watch it now, you watch Mandalorian and Book of Boba, it's like they're humans
they're just humans with skin paint.
Is that because they don't
and have goofy headdress? That's about it.
So is Disney lazy, or are they, or is this? Do they actually think this is how they look? You're telling me that
laziness would at least imply that they're just only half-assing it.
For sure. You're telling me though that the costume art and all that stuff was better back when Lucas did it versus now. With the technology. I thought technology only grew.
That's the impression that they've always given. Yeah.
You go to a Comic-Con and you could find a better Twi'lek than
you can find a better cosplay Twi'lek out there, no doubt. Yeah.
That it's probably knows
pretty bad.
100% could probably speak it fluently. Digress. What were your thoughts on the episode?
Another filler tier episode, didn't advance much. It acted like it was going to have something to do with the droid, maybe, or one of the crew member betraying him for Grogu, but that was all kind of a weird, I guess, sort of bait and switch, as it were.
Yeah.
They kept alluding, oh, they're gonna find out. Oh, they're gonna find out. What's gonna happen if they find out? Nothing, apparently. So that was kind of a wasted effort at best. Otherwise, it was just that. Like I said, it just, other than some familiar faces.
So this brings up an interesting question that I've thought about, and I wanted to bring up for a while since we've been doing the Mandalorian. How can you explain to me, or those who might listen, who maybe align with where we're coming from and how we think and what we believe, how is this so freaking popular? There's people at work that will this is the way, and they enjoy it. And I get old, grumpy, George Lucas era loyalists, but and again, I have stated, and I think you have stated also, we want to like anything and everything that
it's
is
like
Star Wars.
I mean, that's the
We
thing.
don't
But I mean,
come
the
on
thing
here.
is this. I know for me, it certainly started since uh Force Awakens. At first, I was like, yeah, that was good, and then I watched it repeatedly, and it just kind of more and more issues started sticking out. And then Rogue One, I was like, yeah, that was a little better. Vader, yeah. And then I'm like, oh wait, no, they totally gave the finger and fucked off on Kyle Katarn and Jan Ors, and Jin Urso, such a change of name.
Yeah.
So I mean, like, yeah, I would have liked to have wanted to like it, but it was like after those two movies, I was just like, you know what, you guys are, and then yeah, you guys are fucking up too much on this shit.
Yeah.
And then I heard about the debacle with the Last Jedi, and then I heard about the debacle with what and then once
Which
time passed, I
debacle are you
finally
which debacle are you referencing in Last Jedi? The whole thing or just
the whole thing,
okay, yeah.
the butchering of Luke Skywalker. I mean,
What are you talking
they've already
about? Man,
they
butcher
already
him.
did it to Han, so Luke was the next victim. Just the endless stupidity from that. I didn't watch it until they finally had it for Riff Tracks for the audio commentary making fun of it, and it was the same for Rise of Palpatine. I didn't watch that until it was being made fun of because I'm like,
I see what you did there.
I'm not gonna subject myself to this stupid freaking movie that I'm just I mean, yeah, the only good part was Ian McDermott back as Sheev, but
he wasn't even Sheev.
He can only do so much to try and polish that turd. No, it's just been, and then what? Like I was telling you, I had no intentions of watching this shit.
Yeah,
no intentions.
I
remember telling you and another coworker both flat out, but she was like, "Oh, but Pedro," I'm like, I don't give a shit about him. He got his dumb ass killed in Game of Thrones in a stupid way.
Yeah.
So I was like, I have no intent. But then water cooler talk. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to at least check this out so I have something to talk about with people other than being bitchy.
Yeah. Well, and then prevent them from making the argument like, well, you haven't even seen it, so how can you have an opinion?
Yeah. So how can you hate on it?
Yeah.
So yeah, and then I thought it was. I mean, from the slew of shit that we'd already gotten, this had like I said, like I think I said from the beginning of all this when we started reviewing Mandalorian, it's a mediocre show. It did okay.
But the question is, why was it okay? That's what I can't understand. Like,
the only thing that I can come to think is that what they did was they did enough for kind of key jangling enough little things here and there. For a lot of people, it was the stupid baby Grogu, the stupid baby Yoda. That was a lot of brainlets freaking attaching to this show, and that's all you heard people talk about. Oh, baby Yoda, baby Yoda.
And I think if they would have done a show with like,
and I think it was the action was okay. It wasn't super heavy on the social justice bullshit.
Yeah,
which I think does come in with these later 2 episodes perhaps. Yeah, and it kind of did with the Gina Carano episode when she kicks his ass the way she did, and like I said, it emasculated Mando in that episode. I don't know. It's I don't know what it is exactly. I know it's struck a chord with people. It might be the whole, weird adoptive parent thing that people just seem to be gravitating towards because they have no true parenting of their own in their life. I don't know. They got daddy issues.
Let me ask you this question real quick. Do you think if people understood who the Mandalorians really were, like their true nature and character, do you think it'd be a turn on or turn off? Is Disney afraid to portray how the Mandalorian? And again, I've not read all of Karen Travis's books. Those on the list are on. I think I'm going to order them from Amazon. I've read a couple. I have. Well, I retract my statement. I have read a couple of, I think, Hard Contact and Republic. I have read those two, but I haven't gone through all 6 of them. But do you think that they're like, oh no, we can't portray how like Canderous was or how Mandalorians were because like it's so violent, we can't.
They
And
can't because that already got screwed. That already got changed irreparably from Dave Filoni and the Clone Wars, and we'd already had the setup of destruction of their planet, their cities, and stuff like that from Rebels.
Yeah.
So they already laid the groundwork that there wasn't not what we know of the true Mandalorians. It was already the Disney Mandalorians.
Which I wondered why Karen
they had no context for that. So
is that then?
Sadly, I don't even think it would have just probably confused a lot of people, and maybe they probably just would have thought of them as the Death Watch Mandalorians from Clone Wars and stuff.
Yeah.
Instead of like what we know of the legit Mandalorians. You
Yeah.
know? So no, I think it might either just confuse people or made them go, "Oh, is this the Death Watch people?" But it just would have confused people because not anybody that's probably watching this has no clue of any of that previous stuff.
Which is so sad, man, because it's such an amazing, like, just character building. Like Karen, again, I can only speak for like the limited amount of books that I've read from her, but like the Mandalorian, like the true Mandalorians, I mean, are just an amazing story and character. And then people are like, "Oh, you just like violence." Well, I mean, kind of. I'm not gonna lie, But yeah. So that's just a question I wanted to ask. Like, why? Like, why is it so popular? And why did they choose to go this route? Why did they choose to do? Why did Filoni choose to do? The Death Watch, and then why did they make this child of the night or children of the night or whatever Pedro, Pascal, Philip, whatever his name is, he's a part of.
Yeah,
Mando's a part of. Like, is it because like we can't portray like we've already screwed it up obviously, but we can't portray them in their true nature because it's too violent, and we're not about violence. We're about kissing babies and holding hands and social justice and all this and that. Like I just wonder if they would have done a show like a Mandalorian show, maybe based off like Canderous or something like someone like that, like a character like that. It could have been, in my mind, I feel like it could have just, knocked our socks off because that's true. That's true to what I'm not saying Karen Travis created Canderous, but I think Canderous did a pretty good job of portraying what
the writers for the Old Republic did a really good job.
Yeah. Portraying that. And so I just bring up the question. There's so much like social justice. There's just so much stuff that you can watch these shows and these episodes, and you can see like stuff that's going on in our world today and what everybody deems relevant and that just crap my pants. I think that's just what really gets me. And we've talked about it. It's just, what could have been isn't, because they just choose to do their own thing.
And do it poorly.
Oh, yeah, listen, we can handle poorly. I think we can handle poorly. This is just, I don't even know what
something
you call
else
it.
Entirely.
It's, yeah. If there's anything worse than dog water, this is what it would be. So what would you rate it? 2 out of 10 again? Got to change up the score. People are just going to be like, they're just going to make a meme like Fractured Filter J Hitman 2 out of 10. It's going to be our name. Like,
well, yeah, 2 out of 10. I mean, I don't know what else. I mean, it's just already. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
I think it's a fair score. I think it's absolutely a fair score. I'm not going to argue with. I'm not going to push back on it.
There's more. Yeah, there's more problems than anything in it. It's just like, man.
What are your top 3 issues with it, Ben? Let's go that. Which would be hard. I mean, it'd be hard and easy because there's so many problems. But narrow it down to like three of the biggest things that you had issues with this episode.
Well, I mean, that whole fight scene between him and the Deveronian.
Okay.
And the way he just tanks the freaking flamethrower like that, like it had no effect.
No effect
I'm sorry.
whatsoever.
I'm pretty sure they would still have an effect on him. Just because he looks like the devil doesn't mean he is the devil, okay? That's
yeah.
I mean, the of course the Twi'lek's costuming or the whole makeup for the Lekus and stuff like that looks like as you say dog water.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
horrendous.
please just start, just give into your hate.
And then the ending was just kind of stupid. Like I said, it's like, yeah, he was gonna activate to kill him, but he didn't exactly know that. I mean, yeah, they already have some history between each other, but I mean, it didn't exactly mean that, oh yeah, he's gonna betray him right then and there.
Right.
And he just got these two people killed that he went to whatever lengths to help them.
Right.
And then, of course, the New Republic, who are supposedly supposed to be better than the Empire and crap, acted like the Empire and just decided to blow them the hell up because they didn't actually investigate the situation, and they just wanted a big explosion for their ending.
It's like
that's what they wanted. So that was mine. How about you?
I mean, I'd agree. So like the costumes are terrible. The fight, there's a lot of fight scenes that didn't make any sense. How you can have what appears to be somebody's head, a scene to where logically the dude's head should have been cut off, but he somehow survives. Like that's, again, you can't be violent for the children. It's a children's show. Children are watching. And then they're telling a story, but they give no backstory to the story that they're trying to tell. And there's a character that was in one episode, but he's just done after that episode. So again, it doesn't. This is again my issue with Book of Boba, Mandalorian. They're telling a story, but I have to sit there and try to figure out. I have to put the pieces together, and I have yet to really be able to.
What's to put together? I mean, is this here you go, jump into the situation,
right? Like,
it's
why are they trying to save Quinn? What importance does Quinn play for some, like, for you to risk your neck to try to save somebody?
Yeah, they didn't exactly give a lot of in-depth detail to that whole situation. Yeah, we got that his sister was there to help break him out. Right. But it wasn't like she was the one paying for the job or anything. They didn't make it seem like that. So
it was just like, let's play hide go seek
just
on this ship. Yeah. So again, I think that it has just been a consistent thing for me. It's like I'm trying to put pieces together, and the pieces. It's like
you're trying so basically you're trying to fill in their blanks for lack of any detailed writing.
Yeah, it's like you got one of those baby toys. Like you're trying to put a square through a circle.
Yeah,
you're trying to figure and
square peg in a round hole.
Yeah, that's saying. I use the square of the circle hole, but yeah. So and just God, the costumes are just so bad. The storytelling is just so bad, and I can't understand for the life of me. Like it's just wasted time. But again,
things just happen for the sake of happening.
Right, and to your point, it's like, why did you why would you didn't know that they were going to betray you? You spare people that were actively trying to kill you, and then you kill somebody.
And they killed somebody that wasn't. Because I mean, he got the brother killed too, because the brother wasn't the one pushing the button and telling him to kill him. It was the fat dude. So it's like, okay, I understand being pissed at Harry, but why he did nothing to you other than trying to sweeten the deal.
And then you bring the child in for a couple scenes, but again, why? Like now he's just playing hide and go seek with a droid.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I thought if anything, it would have like led to them trying to betray Mando, but none of that. No, they they had clearly had some recollection of him and the guild and his issue. So, but apparently, not all word has gotten around.
No, and are you trying? I don't know. Are you trying to paint the picture that humans are smarter than robots? I don't know, man. Like it's just. I told you from the get-go. I think this is where I really like. I've had issues with every episode, but this is the episode that I was a prisoner. I should have worn my orange jumpsuit watching this.
It would have been accurate, yeah.
I mean, it's just painful. So I say, I agree with you. It's freaking 1.92. I think it's spot on. But here's the last thing I want to touch on is like, well, you guys are just biased and you're just gonna forever give 2 out of 10. And it's like, no, I've given a higher score. And they go, oh, when have you given a higher score?
I think I gave some of the earlier episodes. I think I gave like episode 1 like a 5 or something.
Well, that. But
I gave some of them. I was being a little more lenient in the beginning.
Yeah, but I'm also talking about like the original trilogies. I've given higher scores, and they're outdated. Like the technology is outdated, and it's got a higher score because you know what I mean. Because one, again, well, you're just biased towards Lucas. Like no, like I am. I do defend Lucas and what he created and his era, but I also look at like what you've produced and what he produced. Let's compare the two and let's sit down and score it. Like if you're going to tell me that this is better than what Lucas did and like you're dumb. You're dumb. Like there's no other way to put it. I know I shouldn't call people stupid. That's not nice, but like you're dumb. If you think this stuff is better than what Lucas did, you're gonna have to try harder. You're gonna have to try harder to convince me, other than just saying no, it's better. Like why?
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
the fights. We'll just do like oh god, it's like we'll compare. We'll do this. Force Awakens. I saw it 7 times in theaters. Right?
Jesus,
I did. I saw it 7 times. But to your point, I went back each time because at first I was like, okay, yeah, this is I can deal with this. But every time I went to see it, I saw more flaws, and more flaws. And then I finally came to the realization. I was like, he literally stole from A New Hope.
Yeah.
Right? But it's like the fight scene between Kylo and Rey, Force Awakens, right? Versus, let's say, a fight scene between, we'll just say Luke and Vader. What's better?
Oh, God. Easily Luke and Vader.
Why? The choreography is...
For one, the choreography. For two, the stakes of what's going on. I mean, it's just...
But that's the point, yeah?
And even, you can say it's 2 old men sword fighting or whatever, but I mean, the Obi-Wan and Vader fight, when you actually look at it in the context that it's supposed to be, it is 2 masters of their craft testing and trying to take the proper. They're not just going to go into it like they were on Mustafar.
Right.
They're a little more tempered, more honed, and everything like that. So it's going to be a different fight entirely. So, Luke and Vader. There's just, especially like I said earlier about Return of the Jedi. There's just a lot of stuff going on in there.
Right.
A lot of stakes going on, a lot of emotions and stuff.
Do you think
there's more going? There's just more impact, more.
So is it fair to say this? Do you feel like there should be no excuse why they should not produce equally things that are good, if not better, than what Lucas did, because they learned from Lucas. They worked for Lucas. Filoni himself worked for Lucas. So
they have all the tools are at their disposal.
Right.
That's been kind of a point for a lot of people, is that you give a creative infinite funds, but unless you don't have if you don't have somebody to rein them in occasionally, then you get kind of some bad messes. And that was some people's point when it comes to the prequels. Nobody was there to rein in George a bit.
Right.
So,
prequels were still better, though.
Oh, easily. This is the thing is they went into this just thinking they could just keep Star Wars and print money. And to a degree, yes, they're not wrong. But as it was, the movie started to lose money. They started to, and he's like, you could have had Rise of Palpatine make whatever amount of cash it did. I don't know off the top of my head exactly what it was, but it's like, it was the end of this bullshit trilogy. People at least had to see where the freaking hell it was going. And the whole big problem was they had no consistent vision.
Yeah.
The next person they brought in was freaking Ruin Johnson, and he apparently had his own notebooks on what he was going to do and did it. He didn't listen to any what was supposedly quote unquote laid out. So,
it's like you got to destroy a character, but how can you destroy a character without letting everybody know that you're destroying the character? So therefore you do what they're doing and do it in a subtle way. Like,
Subtle.
Well, for
About
us
as
it's not
subtle as a
subtle, but
brick
it might
wall.
for a child of the mouse, it may be subtle. Like to have two fight scenes, and I'll go back to our conversation about Obi-Wan and Anakin. Like to already have two established fight scenes, Mustafar, Death Star, right?
Right.
And then to interject two more really destroys and undermines those two iconic fight scenes, right?
Yeah.
But to a child of the mouse, they're just gonna be like, oh, Obi-Wan and Anakin are gonna fight again. They're gonna meet
Right.
again.
That's
Great.
what they're
Can't
getting
wait.
excited about.
They don't have the mental capacity. And again, like, whatever, like you're biased, but again, no, like if you can't see that, there's an issue. Like you're either one, you're oblivious, you're so drunk off the Kool-Aid that you can't. It's just, does that make sense, or am I just talking?
I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
So, but to the point I was trying to make is, I've given higher scores. Like like the stuff, watching, A New Hope. The scenes, Obi-Wan and Vader and Luke and Vader and even in the prequels, like those are yeah, I've given those higher scores because one, not only are the costumes amazing, not only is the fight scenes amazing, the choreography amazing, the story, the content, they didn't make me put pieces together to realize what was, what I mean, like where it was going. Lucas had a consistent, concise, direct.
Well, yeah, that's
story
what everything boils down to, is just having a level of consistency for your story.
This
we weren't asking for a lot.
No, this is like you say, like they're just throwing crap on a wall to see if it sticks.
Yep.
So it's 2 out of 10. I said the costumes, the fight scenes didn't make sense. Like if somebody logically looks like they should die and they don't die, like that, and I have to, like,
that's kind of a problem.
That's a little bit of a problem, just a little bit. Like, did he grow his head back? Like, I'm not too familiar with the Davaronian race, but I'm pretty sure they're not like, they don't grow.
No, they don't grow back.
And then just the storytelling, like, I mean, there was a couple things, a couple scenes that were, humorous, but
it wasn't saying much.
No. And here we are going towards chapter 7 and see if they can top it. But I hope people understand what we're saying. And even if you don't, like, sorry, not sorry, but it just, you're going to have to, try harder to convince me that this stuff's actually good. Because, like, to your point, there's bits and pieces that are humorous, but overall, it's just a show. Mediocre.
It's like first, what was it? What is it supposed to be? 7 to 8 episodes?
Right.
And they have filler episodes. All these episodes should be focused towards telling the specific story.
That's the thing. It just seems like everything that they've done so far with Boba, man, is just filling. Like, Boba had 7 episodes, and 5 out of those episodes, or 4 out of those episodes, I think it's technically 3, maybe 4. Was it 4 or 3? Mandalorian was in it. So those 3 episodes were should have been episode 1, 2, and 3 of Mandalorian 3. So it's like Boba was just a filler to lead into Mandalorian 3. And it's like, why even do that? Why not do a book of Boba? Why not piss on, the character and just wait? Use COVID as an excuse, since everybody uses COVID as an excuse these days, and just wait. Instead, you want to take a shot or a risk of creating a show of Boba, since he's a pretty, infamous character, and then just crap on it.
Basically.
Like, logically, it makes no sense. So it's just filling. Like, and I'm so excited, and by excited, I mean just really terrified to see. Well, they're coming out with, like, I saw something on Twitter. I'll find the handle and put it in the comments. But it's like Andor, Ahsoka, Rogue Squadron. I think Bad Batch 2. Like, there's like 9 different shows in this picture of series that they're going. Like, Kenobi was obviously in it. I heard. I don't know if I heard they're doing a Vader one. Like, I don't know, but I'll find the handle. But it's like, are all these 9 different shows that you're making just going to be filler? Like, why Andor? Why? Like, why do a show? About
I don't
Andor?
know. I didn't think he was that popular of a character to begin with, so I don't understand why they're giving him a whole show.
Rogue
I mean,
Squadron?
all it is just keeping it within, the timeline that everybody knows, which is the Empire.
Rogue Squadron. You're gonna screw up Rogue Squadron. Are you a fan of Rogue Squadron? Did you read the book?
I went through a lot of the abridged, Rogue Squadron
So
X-Wing
were you a
books.
fan
Yeah.
of it? I was talking to. I thought you said you really enjoyed Rogue Squadron.
They weren't bad. I think I'm gonna I'd have to actually read them.
Yeah.
Find the books themselves, because abridgments, they do cut out things.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I mean, they weren't bad. They were good. I mean, it was definitely kind of a different setting, in a sense of, this was some of the early times of getting into the further EU stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a little bit of a change up of not having somebody, with a lightsaber and Luke Skywalker and yada yada yada. But I mean, it took on this going from the perspective of of Rogue Squadron, of, I think it was Wedge that was leading it.
Yeah, Wedge Antilles or whatever.
Yeah,
Wedge Antilles.
So you had that whole dynamic going on. It was good. I enjoyed it.
This is the last question I want to ask, I promise. But like, are we getting away from trilogies? Because I thought Kennedy herself, I have to find it, but I thought she said that she wasn't going to do trilogies anymore. That we were going away from trilogies. And if that's the case, is that why they're doing all these shows?
Doing it as TV shows, maybe.
Yeah. Like,
I mean,
I guess I can understand the argument. If you do a trilogy, now you're limited to three movies to try to tell a
story. The funny thing is like
but you can't even tell a story in 7 episodes.
But the funny thing is, if you trim down like some of these episodes, you'd basically have one long movie.
For sure. So it's like really just it kind of doesn't.
If you cut out this episode, well, maybe even like how. This is the thing. They do kind of introduce some characters that only appear later, but that's only if you'd seen season 2.
Right.
And you know that fact.
You haven't seen season 2.
I have seen season 2, yeah.
Okay, you did. Okay.
But I mean, even within the confines then of this time, it's like, you could, if you like trimmed out episodes, you'd basically have a movie, and you wouldn't be missing a whole lot.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the day if they screw up, if they do this Heir to the Empire, which we talked about that article. Like, you're gonna find a new co-host because I'm gonna lose my ever living mind. But I also said this: if they screw up my Heir to the Empire, for those that
of course they are. They already basically have.
Okay, well,
they did it via Rebels.
Everybody who's listening, PSA, Heir to the Empire, one of my favorite books. And I know, and if they screw up my favorite book doing this movie or show, I'm going to hope and pray, because I love Fractured Filter to death, that they screw up Shadows of the Empire. I hope that they do it and screw it up, just so misery loves company.
How dare you?
No, I hope they really don't. I hope they don't touch Shadows. I haven't.
It wouldn't surprise me if somewhere down the line they do bring in Dash Rendar and shit. It wouldn't surprise me.
You really think they would?
Considering how, like we've already said, it's funny how they got rid of the whole Legends continuity, and yet they're pilfering from it every chance they get.
Let's say this. I know you were. I know you went on. Were you on Twitch? Did a live stream playing Outcast?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was a little late to it. I got the notification. I jumped on it, but I wanted to just say that if they maybe played that game, they could have, this whole Starship Galaxy Star Cruiser. Like, I was thinking about this the other night. Like, they could have, if they would have played that game, like that Outcast game. It's just Star Wars at its finest. The art, everything.
Absolutely.
It just feels like I'm on the level where I'm fighting the Jedi with the Cortosis armor. Cortosis.
They have the Cortosis armor?
Yeah. The black armor.
Oh, the Shadow Trooper guys?
Shadow Trooper, yeah. And it's so beautifully done, and it just makes you feel like you're immersed into Star Wars. I just had this thought last night or the night before. Like, if they had played that, they could have they'd taken that artwork, it could have been a lot better. But again, it's just them
Only
being just stubborn and refuse to use the things that at their
that
disposal.
are
But
good.
I also just wanted to also put a shameless plug out there for Jedi Outcast. I'm going to start playing Academy, I think, tonight if I do
Nice.
Outcast. But I just, yeah. So much we
It's
could
a
go on for
shame.
hours, but 2 out of 10 for me. Reasons why:
Yep.
costumes, fight scenes are just dog water, and the story is non-existent. It's just sucking air, wasting
Pretty
air.
much.
And I'm so excited for episode 7. Not really.
At least something I think is supposed to be happening by this point now.
Did
They're
you have
getting
yeah,
back to the story.
right. Do you have any announcements? Anything? We moving to Twitch? We're not moving to Twitch yet.
Nothing too concrete. I want to start trying to do some more Twitch plays.
BitChute too. You said that we was doing BitChute. I'm trying to learn BitChute.
I have all the videos shared on BitChute, Rumble, Odyssey. So
Nice.
they're just basically other YouTube alternatives. Otherwise, like I said, for Twitch, I need to start working something out, and I'll either just do it on my days off or figure out like after work or something, or before work. I don't know, because I'm always up
I gotta do
early
it
in the
too.
morning.
I've played around with Twitch, but I'm not too well.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to get the hang of.
I'm still trying to learn Discord. I don't know how I feel about Discord yet.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm kind of iffy on
I'm
it
waiting
myself
for you to
too.
I'm waiting for you to make the move, and I'll follow suit. But no, yeah, I think the for those go back.
But otherwise, no exact concrete announcements. I'll just kind of recommend to anybody that happens to be listening. Just keep an eye out on any of our social medias. Things will get posted there.
Yeah. And then I think are you gonna start doing more Twitch play like Jedi?
That's what I said. Yeah, that's what I was saying. I want to. I just haven't really thought of anything too concrete at the moment.
Some of the commentary is hilarious. I was watching you play. Well, it was again already posted, but some of the commentary you're saying you're like, I just killed the game. Crap.
Yeah, from the get go. Yeah, it was a great. I put it up on the YouTube channel. I edited it down just so it wasn't the full hour. I just got it. I took out the chunks that I was like, yeah, I'm gonna keep this in. Like, especially the fact that I killed the game immediately.
Yeah, you're a lot more accurate. See, I need to download it for my computer because you're a lot more accurate than I am playing on a console. It took me about 6 shots to kill this. But the first level,
I was horrible. I was like,
no, but then you shot the stormtrooper and then he falls down. You're like, oh dear, or you're like, oh crap. Or I forget what you said, but it was hilarious. Where he comes down, but yeah, check Fracture Filter when he plays. It's hilarious. I'm just not saying that because he's co-host. I thoroughly enjoyed myself watching it. It's very funny, but I also, because I can just see your facial expressions and kind of think I can get automatically think, okay, I think he's gonna say this next.
Right.
So good stuff. But yeah,
good stuff.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, on that note, I'll say adios. Goodbye, everyone.